That's how you get it.
That's
That's how you get
good,
that's
bro.
that's
Keep
how you
up the
get it.
good work.
That's
Keep it
right.
up.
That's how you get
Damn
that
right.
yield, that good yield up out of it. That's right.
Yeah, I got it above ground and stuff because I treated the dirt the first year we got here and stuff, and it still didn't act right. But I'm just getting acclimated to the heat and all that shit, man, and the watering system. But just above ground, when I do it above ground, it goes real well.
What you mean, raised beds?
Yeah, I just put it in pots though.
Yeah, yeah,
Yeah,
yeah.
yeah, and then I put cactus dirt and then this one it's called patio fertilizer and shit. And
Using fertilizer of any kind?
yeah, and then that cactus fertilizer is really uh it helps it drain a lot better, right? And then I put wood chips and shit in it, right? Yeah,
Okay.
to make it drain better and shit, man. So we're gonna see how it does.
It's a fun thing, I tell you, man. You get in that dirt, man. It's hard to get out the dirt once you in it. Once you
Yeah,
got in
exactly.
and and saw some food come out of there, oh, it's over.
Yeah.
It's like fishing almost. It's
It's-
over. It's over. You know what I mean?
yeah.
As long as you got dirt, as long as you got dirt around you, you're gonna be like, no, I got to plant me something. Ain't no way. I'm telling you, my uncle almost in his 70s, he don't go without planting, man.
Shot at.
Right.
No, he don't
Yeah,
go
we
without planting
planted
every
something
year,
every
twice a
year.
year in Georgia, twice a year. He doing twice a year because he in
Yeah.
Georgia. Yeah, yeah.
As soon as I learn the system here in the summertime, man, I'm gonna have a nice little garden in the dirt,
All
as
you
well
have
as
to do,
above.
all, all you got to do. Wherever you in Florida, right?
No, I'm in Tucson, Arizona.
Arizona got whatever university, state, whatever they state university is, they got a extension program. Every
Yeah,
state in America got one. So
right.
with that extension program, they got every connection you gonna need. Free shit about how to grow in your zone. What's gonna grow good, who to get shit from, all those access. Every state got them. Yep.
I'm
So
going down there to the university, man. That's a good
go online.
good
Go
point.
online. Go online. Go to your online and look for y'all whatever state university y'all got. Go online and look for that. It's called an extension program, usually, or something about agriculture, something relating
Okay.
to that.
Okay.
Shit, man, you can get a newsletters. They will have you coming to free doing free webinars at the crib, coming to little workshops and stuff like that, man. Yeah, I done got seeds. I done did all kind of stuff with these folks, but it's good, a good source of information about agriculture. Sure. Yeah. Yeah.
I'm dead on that. I'm dead on that, bet.
I'm telling you,
I
once you
just
man, and once they start sending you shit and you start, getting stuff to, invitation to go and check out, some cost, some free, but it's just a wealth from invasive species, invasive planting, or just all kind of stuff.
yeah. Yeah,
All kind of stuff. Yeah.
and they got so many different species of plants and just so much stuff out here, man. It's overwhelming, really,
Yeah. Yeah. Yeah.
but
Yeah.
really interesting, so yeah, I'm gonna jump on that, man. I'm gonna jump on that this week.
For sure.
Extension
Well,
program, agricultural extension program.
in your state.
Yeah.
Yep.
Yeah, and we got
Yep.
the university right here, so I'm good.
Well, I'm sure they got some aspect of it. Yeah.
Yeah.
Because,
Lo
it's
is.
important that each, go ahead.
Oh, I was just gonna say, Lo's best friends with every one of the plant shops around here. Talks to them, asks them a million
Yeah.
questions.
Awesome. Awesome. You all in now, bro. You ain't no
Yeah,
turning back
man.
now.
Yeah. I'm definitely going to go down there. They got this one thing. They got like a big, huge planetarium, man. Like some like way more advanced than Michigan State's and shit, right? And
Right. Right.
yeah, I'm gonna get more information on it and send it to you. It's pretty cool.
Okay. Yeah. Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah. Check it out. I don't know how much advanced they are with Michigan State because Michigan State leading the country in their agriculture shit from Purdue and shit.
Yeah.
All that shit. You got to show me. You got to show me to make me a believer. You got to show me.
They
They
got
don't
this.
play.
Yeah, they got. Yeah, and I agree. I agree. I might overstate it, But they got this one thing. It's like they got a rainforest in there and all kinds of shit, man. I'm just gonna. I'm like, messing it all up, but I'm gonna get the information. I'm gonna send it to you because it's crazy, crazy.
We got somebody coming.
Oh, you breaking up a little, Chick. Say that again. You're breaking up a little bit.
Hold on a minute. I was just saying we got some plans to do some raised beds as well as, for next spring. Get somebody to build some wooden raised beds. Yeah, raised beds on the property. Yes, sir.
Yeah, and I was gonna build some wooden raised beds because the joints they got like at Costco and all these other places, man, they're $100 and some, man. It don't cost that much to build no raised bed. But the problem that I see with the wooden raised beds is they ain't gonna last but a couple of summers, if that, out here. The wood is not gonna last unless you got some mahogany or some shit like that. Even though that shit's gonna warp, man.
You need a cedar, but when you treat it, no matter where you are, you got to treat the wood for the weather. But yeah, see what's a good wood to use, man, in your area. Shit, y'all got wooden houses that they don't go nowhere.
Yeah, I get it. I get it. Hey, but the wood on them motherfuckers, they be having to replace them wood shits, man. I'm telling you, man.
That's anywhere.
Different than a motherfucker out here.
Yeah, that's anywhere because once you take the bark away from the wood is not protected. Like on a tree, the bark protects the wood from the tree, you dig? But once you remove that, then you got to be the protector. That's why you got even for that deck, I got a whole wooden deck. Shit, them planks got to be replaced, man.
Right.
Take one out, put a new one in. Yeah, this is how I go with fucking with wood.
Yeah, maintenance no matter what, man.
Maintenance no matter what. Yeah. But as we get older, that's what we talking. As you get older, you don't want to be fucking around. As much as you can. Raise beds to be more comfortable being out there in the garden.
That's what I'm talking about, man.
That's right.
That's what the fuck I'm talking about.
Yeah, man.
Hey, we live, family.
Too.
Okay, all right. All right, let's get it.
Let me play this right quick.
Oh, let's do it.
All right.
I forgot.
We like to joke around Trump is black, cause he caught a case and got shot at. That's just as silly as Hillary pulling hot sauce out her coat, or Biden defining who can be black based off a vote. If we don't address these things, they go unchecked. But these are the stereotypes we like to project. You hit the nail's head. What if, instead of sexy red, it was sexy to be well read? Well said if we said it, what is the vision land? How come all of our moguls mimic a business plan? Is there a bigger scam? To land on Billboard, just to be a billboard for liquor brands? Then drill it in your head till it traumatizes. Well fed, let it spread like a common virus. I get embarrassed looking at pictures of Paris, cause we talk a good talk, but catwalk for our colonizers. Wave notes are slave tropes. Modern vlog reels trace back to vaudeville. Scrawny slivers of comedy calm your quiver past the glee of Stagger Lee, Sambo to Swanee River. So why do we criticize what we idolize? Rather believe in IG or your lying eyes. I advise quit iconizing them biased guys. Testify against their own tribe if you supply a prize. So what is your definition of culture? Does social media mediate how sex is painted? The glow's realer as soon as you hit the lotto. Can't criticize them cause us men help to perpetuate it. With all women, we scoff when it's authentic, and all when it's augmented. We're often involved in it. We often absolve ourselves, condemning it still. The symptoms of big pimping are children of tip drills. Still, we instill it, they steal it. It's up to us to distill it. The Al Green, we Al Green. Greediness is a skillet. You pay dividends a spiral. Why incriminate yourself in a murder just to go viral? Engage rivals, then ignore the bleeding. It's like any amount of clout is worth more than freedom. On a podcast about a podcast about a podcast, reacting to reactors, reacting to it, and y'all laugh. If y'all clash, then they weaponize it. Repackage the press to buy it and spread it like an infectious virus. Galvanize hate and create a villain, not actually diagnosing the problems we're concealing. We're still in denial. They keep looping that sample pack. The straw man that broke the camel's back will never give an answer back. So what is your definition of culture? When the outside decides, be weary of that exposure. There we go.
That's a fire. Straight fire.
We just warming up. Y'all still with me, right?
Yeah.
All right. Turn it down. We like to joke around Trump is black.
Hey,
Because he caught a case and got shot at.
Play that
That's just
second
a
one after you do
pulling
the
hot sauce
introduction,
out of
James.
coat. Abiding, defining who can be black based off a vote. If we don't address these things, they go.
Play the second one after we do the introduction.
Peace to the family. Peace, family. Hey, man, sorry about that. Hey, welcome, family, man. With Sankofa 180 degrees. Hey, man, we back at y'all again. You know, hey, listen, family. Like I said, we got first Sunday every month coming up. That's for the children's book read. It's really important, family, that we participate. They are literally rewriting our history right in our face, family. You know what I mean? And they started to try to teach our kids a different form of history than what really happened. So what we have to do is we got to combat it. It's like chess move. They make a move and we make a counter move. And that's what this is about, family. So what we're gonna do is we're gonna continue to push Black African history out to the kids and to the adults, and hoping that you guys see how important it is to grab this, man. Because listen, man, yeah, you know, if you don't know yourself, man, if we don't know ourselves, hey, man, we ain't gonna know nothing. We ain't gonna we'll never know our history. All right, so we have to know thyself in order to know your history, man. You got to know your history. It's really important, man. We can't go without it, man. We gotta wake up, man. It's a reason why they're going through all this trouble, spending all this money, banning all these books. There's a reason behind it, family. There's a reason behind it, and we can't happen. We gotta wake up, man. We can't let it happen, man. We can't happen. We gotta show them what this is about. We gotta show them their history, right? The true African history, man. See, in Florida, they said that it's against the law. You can't even. They only have a curriculum for Black African history. No, you can't. You can't teach it. No, you better not. Right? No, you can't teach it here. And they made a law against it. So what we're doing is that's in Sankofa 180 degrees is we combating that. We're gonna teach Black African history. And we even got it to where we giving away books. We giving them away, free books, Black African historical books, books that about real people, real places, real kings and queens, right? Uh, you know, like we we can't let this go. All right. They said, you know, so they said that uh that the Africans benefited from slavery. They said that they gained skills from slavery. This is the narrative. This is what they're starting to push. And we just can't and that's so far from the truth. And so we gotta make sure that our kids know that that's not that's not it. You know, slavery ain't just that's not it, man. We got a very rich history way before slavery. You hear me? Thousands of years before slavery. Okay? We have a rich history. All right? And we have to know this history. It's important that we know this history. All right? You don't have to be a specific denomination to know this history. Right? You don't have to be Kemetic to know this history. Right? You can be Christian and still know this history. I mean, I don't know how long it'll last, but you could do it. Right? Just to know the history, Black African history. Right? Learn how we develop the 7 liberal arts. Learn that. Learn how that happened. How did that come about? How did the seven liberal arts begin? Where did it come from? All seven of them. Look them up and see where they come from. That right there alone, man, is going to take you through a lot of history.
That's right.
Right. Right. So listen, man, it's important that we know this, man. I don't want to hold it up too long. Peace to the panel. Listen, family, we giving away free books, man. Come and get a free book. Come and get a free book, man. And they're not cheap books. We got good books, real good books. Like I said, I don't want to hold it up too long. Peace to the panel, man. Peace, 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 man. Hey, listen, man. What's going on? Peace to you, Carrie. How you doing?
I'm doing great. Welcome to Sankofa 180 degrees. This is where we learn the truth, and we back it up with facts. It's not just some theory or, make believe thing that many of us were taught our whole lives, and it really is mind blowing to me, and I think it's really a good platform where we can talk about, issues, and it's just getting worse with that orange gump in there. And well, it is. It's horrible. He's
That's right.
taken away all the history from the Smithsonian's and all of that. And I was just I sent Lo the video of it where the black guy was hung, and at first they told the family that he had just died in jail or whatever, and then come to find out he was hung, and they said, well, he must have hung himself, way up on a pole, and I mean, just stupid stuff. And every day it's just something like that, and so I think it's really, really, really important that we stand strong on the truth and the history, and we share it with our family members and our friends and our community. And so I'm really glad to be here. Thank you, guys.
That's right. That's right. That's right. That's right. That man is trying to. He's working on the Smithsonian's now. That's just that. That should let you know, family, that something is going on, that they do not want you to know your history. They don't want you to know it. Why? You gotta ask why, man. You gotta ask why, don't they, man? Hey, peace to you, E. He might be in. I think he's still in traffic, right? Oh,
Peace,
there you
peace
go.
to the panel. Peace to everybody. Glad to be here. As always, it's imperative that we have platform like this available for free, that we can come and learn something and share information with, because as you all stated, this is serious business, and there are people involved, really involved, in trying to keep this information away from us. So we're doing what we're doing for a purpose. It's a purpose. There's a reason behind it. So I'm here for it. Let's get it.
That's right, E. That's right, man. Free, man. Don't cost you
Yes,
nothing,
sir.
family. We ain't
Free,
charging
free.
nothing,
Come
man.
on, man.
We ain't trying to get no PayPal, no Cash App, none of that, none of that stuff. All we trying to do is get some attention, man. That's it, man. We trying to get your attention, and it ain't for us. It's for you. We got it. You know what I mean? It's for you, man. We do this for you, man. Free. Don't cost nothing, man. We don't charge people nothing, man. Hmm? We don't charge them nothing, man. We don't charge you nothing for the books. The books is free. The shipping is free. All we need is the address. Huh? If you don't feel comfortable giving us the address, hey, you gotta give us a P.O. box. Send it to the P.O. box. Wherever you want it. I'm just saying, it's free. It's free, man. Peace, Unc. Unmute yourself, King. Unmute yourself.
Yeah, Gerald will be on in just a minute. Yeah, man. Kerry was talking about a young boy in Mississippi at Delta College, man, and you know, I believe he's from Africa. I think Senegal. But you know, R.I.P. to DeMartravion Trey Reed. Shay, no doubt about it, man. Yeah, that's some crazy, goofy shit going on there, man.
Shay.
Yeah. And we just want we're gonna play a video of our master teacher, Baba Heru. You know, he just passed. Shay, he just passed, and he's a great contributor to our African history, and so yeah, we just gonna get into that, man. And you know, fuck the orange gump and fuck Kirko too. Right? Yeah. Yeah. Go ahead, Gerald. You sign in, man.
That's
Hey, what do you know,
hey,
fam?
peace
How
to you,
y'all
Gerald.
doing?
Peace to you.
What do you know, Jamie? What do you know,
Peace to you,
Hawk?
King.
What do you
You
know,
all right, man? Everything all right?
Oh, yeah, what up, fam? Yeah, what up, E? Yeah, then 94. Look, send the middle, and then the husband didn't want to hear his information. So I had to wait for the house to come. So
Oh,
that's all that was. That's all that was. Yeah, but I'm good. You answering the main show, wasn't nothing wrong with me or nothing like that. So,
Yeah. We got you.
that's definitely what's up.
Yeah, Gerald said that the dude didn't want to give up the information, and Gerald said, "You ain't going nowhere. You ain't going nowhere if the police come up. They ain't."
Yeah, man, this goddamn son. The motherfucker looked at me like, huh? I was like, yeah, motherfucker, you ain't going nowhere then. Then the
Right.
motherfucker was like, when in the cops gonna come? Like, nigga, I had on some slides. I took
Okay.
my damn slides off, put my shoes on, looked at the little Mexican in the eye and said, y'all ain't going no motherfucking where. Yeah, you ain't got no information, then you ain't gonna go nowhere. No
Right.
motherfucking where.
That's right.
His daddy had to tell me, hey, man, I'm off on him. You never man gonna knock me, no motherfucker.
Right.
Yeah,
Yeah, I'm just glad you free, safe, and all that, man, and here.
Right.
yeah. No, it was, yeah, some minor. That's all it was. And I'm where I'm supposed to be. Power love.
That's good, man.
That's what's up, man. Hey, this is family. Like Unc said, oh, okay, my bad. All right, man. Listen, man. Go ahead, Unc. Finish, man.
No, you go ahead, man. You can go ahead and rock it, man. I'm ready to get into it.
You good? Hey, so listen, I'm gonna play this video real quick, family, before we get into Baba Heru. Give me a second.
Panel already knows to jump in anytime, and you know, on the YouTube and the Sankofa 180 degrees, hit a like, throw a comment up in there, subscribe to our joints, and come join us sometime on Fridays, 7 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. We have the open mic session. You know, bring your topic, man. You can be political. You know, it's a whole bunch of goofy shit going on in the world today, and you know, let's come in, defrag a little bit. You know. Let's build together, man, and keep our spiritual African minds together. And Sundays, you know, we do this at 2 p.m. Eastern Standard Time, where we do a presentation and we discuss. So anytime that you're on, feel free to interact with us, and you don't have to wait till the video is over. You got a question, a statement, throw it out there. All right, you just don't want to make it elongated and miss the presentation. So it's all important. Let's rock, Jamie.
All right, bet.
I'm grateful to my ancestors for the lashings they took. I string these words together for the times they were denied access to a book. I write these poems for the times they couldn't. Every foot that used them like a doormat in attempts to restrict their mind gave me a mat to find my voice. I construct these sentences like a judge for instances where my brother was denied his innocence because his color had already convicted him. For every one of my great cousins who ended up in cuffs when it wasn't them, I speak up for the injustice my people never took in silence. I come from a long line of fighters, fought for everything, from their life to their right to sit behind a bus driver, fought for a spot at the counter in a diner. I come from a people who died at the hands of police, hoping to beat the fight out of them, not knowing it be instilled in generations to come all the way down to me. I am the product of lynchings, schools burned down, whole towns erased. I am the product of slaves chased on their way toward freedom. I am proof that energy don't die, bodies do. The lives sacrificed for my chance to shine exists through me. I speak up for the ones who gave up their existence for the experience I get to live in, laid in a grave without so much as a thank you, to create a reality they'd never spent a day in. I say thank you. I'm grateful. In these pages, I seek to repay you for every obstacle you overcame, so you know your fight was not in vain. For every night you couldn't sleep from the pain the whip inflicted. For every scream that rang through the auction while your family was ripped apart. For every heart that stopped before it could beat freely. Every bit of your strength was passed down to me, a tradition I'm blessed to keep. I give reverence to the ones who never accepted defeat. I'll carry on your fight because you deserve to rest in peace. I'm grateful to my
I like that.
Powerful.
Indeed.
So for sure it was, man. Peace and Black Power to Baba Heru.
I say,
family. I just want to make sure that we give we're gonna give a moment of silence for a master teacher, Baba Heru. Let's bow our heads, man. Ashe, Ashe, Ashe.
Say, yeah. I'm gonna put his bio in the comments under Sankofa's under our Facebook page.
Yeah. Baba Heru family, this is his teachings.
I would like for you to join me as I welcome my dear friend Baba Heru Ankh Ra Samaj Se Patha. He is the chief priest of the shrine of Patha. Join me as I welcome him to Afrikan Scholar. Baba. Hetapu. You know. Thank you so much. You saw that. I remember when I first met you, which was many, many years ago. Mm-hmm. I'm not going to even go into how many years ago in this broadcast.
Right.
But I do remember that when I came to the studio, you were on the Bowery when I first came to the studio. Mm-hmm. And I must have stayed down in your studio 4 or 5 hours, if you recall, talking to you. And I used to just come back and
True.
Just avail myself of your knowledge, so much so that at the end of it, at one point, you said, well, you know what you are. You're a Kemetic Muslim, you know.
Right.
And then you dubbed me and my brother Hannibal Kemetic Muslims.
Right.
You said, you're the only Kemetic Muslims that I know in New York.
Mm-hmm.
You know,
that's true.
At that point. So I want to ask you a question. What led you to the Kemetic understanding, to the Kemetic theology, to the Kemetic culture? Because none of us were born into it. True. What led you to it? We all were led to it by some circumstance. What led you?
Well, I may be the exception to the rule. I was born into it in this wise. My father, he was a Christian minister, and he told me later on as I grew up that I was born specifically for the mission of introducing our people to the Nile Valley culture. And he was a follower of Marcus Garvey. And he said that as I grew up and I matured, we have these conversations, and he would say that his reading of the Bible indicates that African people are children of Ham. But he said that the original name in the Hebrew was Com, and that the original name for the place now called Egypt was Kemet. So therefore, which means the Kem in the ancient language means burnt, blackened, or hot. So that King James did not add the K when he called us children of Ham. And he said, my work was to study the Nile Valley culture, and as I grow up, to teach our people about that culture, because he said that was the culture from which Judaism came, from which Christianity came, and from which Islam came, because all the major prophets went into the Nile Valley in Africa to get what they got in terms of knowledge. Moses was taught in the temples of Anu for 40 years. Abraham and Sarah, when they came before Moses, they grew rich in cattle and land because of the hospitality of the Africans of the Nile. Yeshua, now known as Jesus, his life was spared by the hospitality of these same Nile Valley Africans, and also that the Prophet Muhammad's at least 40 of his disciples was spared from the wrath of his tribesmen, the Quraysh of Mecca, when he sent them to the Negusti, the king of kings of Ethiopia, to be spared their wrath and to give them refuge. So it seems that Africa, the Nile Valley Africans, gave refuge to all of these major prophets. So the question is, what kind of people were these? What did they know? What did they believe in? What was their concept of deity before the coming of the Kemetic shepherds into their land? And he said that we should study the cosmology of the farmers and gardeners of the Nile Valley, because basically what we had was just the cosmology of those who came to fight them, really, and who took over their land afterward. So I busied myself with that knowledge. And it was around my father, he passed in 1967. And around 1970, somebody brought me a tape of Dr. Joseph Ben-Jochannan and said, listen to this. And what I heard coming out of that tape was some of the same things my father used to tell me. And I adopted Dr. Ben as my spiritual father. He did not know it, of course. And anything that he wrote, I read. And from there, of course, I read the works of Sheikh Anta Diop. And even before that, I'd read Gerald Massey's works, Ancient Egypt, Light of the World, Book of Beginnings, Natural Genesis, the works of Count Volney, and, of course, The Stolen Legacy by George G.M. James, and later on, of course, the works of Sheikh Anta Diop, where he informed us that the oneness of Egyptian and black culture could not be stated more clearly, and because of this essential identity of genius, culture, and race, today all Negroes can trace their culture to ancient Egypt and build a modern society on that foundation. Now, when I read that, I just was excited, because I had been talking about Egypt all the time, and people thought I was crazy. He said, you're an African, why do you want to deal with Egypt? That's in the Middle East. I said, the Middle East? The middle of what? I said, look on your map, it's right there. People wanted to be off the African continent because of the greatness of the civilization. People want to steal it for themselves. And of course, we're very generous. I mean, after a while, we allowed the Greeks to come in. But of course, as you know, we were invaded, I think, in 663 by the Persians, Kambutse, and who they call Cambyses. Then in 525 by the Persians, now known as Iran. In, I think, 332 by the Greeks, and then in 332 BC by the Romans. And then who became great because he stole the gold of Kemet, by the way. And of course, then later on, the Arabs came, and they are still there, colonizers of that ancient African land, and ancient African culture.
Speaking about invasions by foreigners, let me ask you a question. It's a question that I have asked everyone who studies Kemet, and I've gotten all kinds of answers. So I want to ask you the same questions. Who were the Hyksos?
The Hyksos, that's a mystery that people try to keep a mystery. But of course, the Hyksos, to make it generalized, were nomadic sheep herders of Asia Minor. and they came in there, and they invaded the land, and around the around the 13th dynastic period, and they were in there for about 200 years, and then they were driven out by Amos the first and Amos Nefertari, the first rulers of the 18th dynastic period. So they were the enemies of the ancient Nile Valley farmers and gardeners, specifically because it had really nothing to do with skin color, as some people like to think. It had to do with lifestyle. When you go to Kemet today, you see the Arab guides will show you, will look at the pharaoh's chariots riding over the necks of the Asiatics and the necks of the Nubians. They don't call them Nubians, the necks of the Negroes. And really, it had to do with the fact that the Asiatic sheep herders were nomads. A lot of the Nubian were likewise nomads, and their lifestyle interfered with the lifestyle of the farmers and gardeners of the Nile. If you come with your flocks and you turn them loose in my garden, you are actually interfering with my lifestyle. You're threatening my life because you're eating my food. And that's what the quarrel was really all about. Because the shepherds, they kept wandering from place to place. They were not building anything. And so they coveted the settled lifestyle of the Nile Valley farmers. And even though we shared with them, you know, when you give without no return, you are violating the laws of Ma'at, which is balance, order, reciprocity. And that's part of what happened.
Well, speaking about color, that's the thing that I'm really concerned about. I know who they were in terms of historically, but what color were they? Now, before you answer, let me just give you a little help, give you a compliment here. You know, I've heard that they were black Asiatics.
Right.
I've heard that they were a mixture between the Kemetic and the Asians. Mm-hmm. You know, I have heard that they were a mixture between the Kemetic and the Phoenicians. These are some of the explanations that I have been given about the racial identity of the Hyksos. Do you have any further comment on that, or do you agree with any or none of what's been said?
Well, the Greeks called them Hyksos, but they were known as Hekshasu, or the rulers of the marshlands. Mm-hmm. And they were different complexions, as indeed the Africans of the Nile were. If you go to the Metropolitan Museum, you will see some of the original art on the walls. They show people of different complexions, from like we have in Harlem today, the darkest dark to the highest yalla, as we say. And so these people were of similar complexions. However, some of the temple walls drawings show that they were decidedly of a more of a pink complexion than were the Africans of the Nile Valley. And that had to do with the regions from which they came, the desert regions and nomadic regions from which they descended, you know.
Now, the other thing, in speaking with Dr. Ben, I think it was Monday, we were talking, and I told him that you're going to be the guest on the show, and we just talked. And one of the things that he said was that the rebellion that we had among ourselves, which could be classified as the Common People Revolution, the first quote-unquote proletariat revolution in the 6th dynasty, that revolution in the 6th dynasty set the stage for the invasion of the Hyksos. Do you agree or disagree with Dr. Ben's statement?
Well, there's no doubt that our internal conflicts made it easy for people who are fashioned and trained and conceived to take advantage of divisions, to exploit these divisions. It happened right here with the Native Americans, that they were fighting among themselves. As long as we stayed united, we could thwart any attempts of outsiders to invade, because the spiritual force and power was so intact that they couldn't even come near the border. But when we began to go against the laws of Ma'at, when we began to quarrel over cosmology and politics, then of course we have the people coming and taking advantage of these divisions. So that is true. I think Dr. Ben is right. And for the same thing, we have to take responsibility also, partially, for what happened during the chattel enslavement trade, that it was our battles among each other that made it possible for these foreigners to come in and exploit the differences, our differences, giving those who they saw as stronger guns and not giving those who they saw as weaker guns, so that the stronger ones invaded the villages of the weaker and sold us to Arabs and to Europeans who came later. By the way, of course, you know, the Arabs were involved in the slave trade for more than 1,000 years before the Europeans came.
That's true, yeah.
And are still doing it to
And
this
still,
day.
right. And again, in talking with Dr. Ben would tell you that he doesn't believe in God, and he would tell you that he has no God, but he very much believes in Amin Ra. Do you have a particular deity?
People will get that mixed up, or will try to use that as an advantage. All
What
right?
part? What part?
Well, they'll say, well, we're fighting against each other. That's why the people came in. You with me?
Right.
Y'all was fighting against each other. And you always gotta say, wait a minute. I don't give a fuck what happens in my household. You with me?
Right.
If me and you fight inside my household, it don't give you a right to come in my house.
Right.
You with me?
Right.
It don't matter. You was already willing to come in my house. And when you saw that I was fighting, that gave you an opportunity. But you was already coming in my shit anyway. So
Right.
don't let them use that as an excuse. Oh, y'all was fighting. Oh, the Hidden Dynasty was fighting, and that one let the Highlands come in. Oh, the Native Americans was fighting, and that one let the white man take over America. No, that was already coming. Anyway, you got somebody that's a natural want to take people's shit. They want the world. So you might have an internal thing, but don't let them say that was the reason y'all was fucked up. That's the reason they took over. No, them niggas just like to take over shit.
Yeah.
Period.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Right.
that's all I'm saying.
Yeah. That's clear. That's clear.
Some
Yeah,
people
but
would
Yeah.
like to flip
but it's
that
easy.
on us, like we was, and it wasn't, if we wasn't doing nothing, they wouldn't have allowed they was coming anyway.
Because of
It
their
would
war
have made
culture.
it
They had
harder for them, but they was already coming. Not that we were fighting, make them have no slave ship. They already had the slave ship.
that was because they had a war culture.
You're right. That's what
They
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 knew.
they had a war culture. So yeah, they definitely was coming, no matter what.
Yeah, that's what when they was like in Kemetic. It didn't matter if they was Arabs or not. Y'all messing with our food. You know what I'm saying? Y'all making war with us by coming in getting my food.
Right.
And like I said, you're dealing with a war culture. Them people didn't have the luxuries that Kemet had, and you know what I'm saying. They wasn't eating every day. You know
No,
what I
they ain't
mean?
setting up, they ain't civilized yet. They ain't
Right.
setting up on that level. They moving around from place to place, eating whatever they want. When they get to your shit and they got more people than you, then they gonna eat your shit up.
That's right.
They nomadic, nomads. They just running around. And if your defense ain't ready for them when they get there, they eat your shit up. They occupying your shit.
Yeah.
Yeah. That's how they occupied Kemet for them 150 years. That wasn't they hit. They came in there and settled. And then when we had them problems, they ended up taking over until almost ran their ass up out of there. But it wasn't they hit. Yeah.
Right. Right. Yeah, that's good. That's good.
That's right.
It's like America that came over and took over the whole United States. When they first came, they only had a little over one colony. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
They had one colony. And they almost didn't make it through the winter. The Native Americans had to show them how to eat and fed them. If they wouldn't have fed them then, there wouldn't have been no United States. They fed them. They survived. Then the next year, more of their people came from England over here. And then they had disease. And that disease made them have numbers at a certain spot. When they had them numbers, they just kept coming in more and more. When they had them numbers, they just kept coming in year after year. And finally, they had more numbers than the Native Americans. And Lord, beat their ass. It's just that simple.
Right.
Yeah.
That war culture.
And
Yeah.
they had, you know, they had better weapons because of their war culture.
Now, these same people think everybody like that. You with me?
Yeah.
They know they like that. Now what they thinking is happening with the immigrants now. You with me?
Right. Right.
So the immigrants ain't coming. But they know they need that to somebody. So they said, no, we gotta stop the water. Or if not, our white culture, is the white man ain't gonna be in America no more. You with me?
That's
They
right.
understand it because they knew it. Everybody else don't understand that though.
Yeah.
But because they need it, they said, no, we gotta stop letting them immigrants come in this white land. This land wasn't white. What the fuck y'all talking about? But that's how they see it. And they shut down the border. They literally have shut down the border. You with me?
Right.
That's
They
right.
ain't playing. It's shut down. Yeah, but that's their mentality. They done did it to somebody else, and now they don't want nobody to do it to them. It's the same damn thing.
Same thing. Same thing.
Same thing.
Like I said, you know, they had a negative birth rate, so they really
There
scared to
you
death.
go.
They
There
don't
you
want
go.
they had a negative birth rate. You know, they dying off faster than they can procreate. You know what I'm saying? And then you let, you know, all these Mexicans coming in, you know, and then they women is going for the Mexicans and the blacks, half of them. You know what I'm saying? So now your bloodline is being stopped cold. You know what I'm saying? Like yeah, man. Like it's so they. That's what it is. He right. They scared to death of being the minority, which I mean, they only make up 7% of the world population.
Yeah. They don't want to be a minority in America.
Right, in America. But
Yeah.
you're already pretty much a minority in America.
Yep.
Pretty much a minority already. You just don't want to admit it. That's all.
Yeah, if you admit you are a minority in the world, then you ain't gonna have no problem being, being a minority in America.
Right.
Yeah, if you understand your reality, then you ain't gonna show. Because they don't understand it, that's why they tricking like that.
Yeah. Yeah, but yeah, they know that they make up a very small percentage in across the world. Very small.
They don't know that if they live in America, though. You with me?
Right.
America don't teach them that. America lies to them. They don't know that they ain't the minority unless they leave America. You with me?
Right.
Then they eyes get opened up like, whoa, whoa, whoa. But in America, they let them believe that they run everything. You know what I'm saying? They think they're the majority because they are the majority in America. They think that's the world, but the world not like that.
Yeah, that's right.
Yeah.
That's right. You ready?
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
All right. All
That's
right.
good participation.
Yeah, for sure.
Coming from a particular period of time in ancient Kemet that you favor?
No, I favor them all.
Okay.
Actually, what we refer to, unfortunately, as gods and goddesses are facets and attributes of Nkara. Nkara, or some say nature, is the undifferentiated divinity that governs all creation. If you, as a jeweler, I look at a gem, I look at a diamond, and I see that the diamond has many facets, each throwing off, depending on how the light hits it, a different light. Okay? And Ntara, divinity, undifferentiated, has many aspects and many expressions. Our ancestors used animals, they used birds, they used reptiles to describe aspects of these, of divinity. If you go into the Christian Bible, it'll say, "Be ye wise as serpents and harmless as doves." It also say, "Go to the ant, thou sluggard, consider his ways and be wise." So the Bible is saying that ants, doves, and serpents can teach you wisdom, can teach you, if you observe them, they have aspects of human behavior. So our ancestors felt the same way about the lion, about the cynocephalus baboon. They felt the same way about the ibis and the jackal and all of those animals. Now, the Egyptologists, when they come, they willfully choose to misunderstand our
Egyptologist.
way of life and accuse us of animal worship. Well, I think we would be better off worshiping some of those animals than worshiping these two-legged animals who are so racist, which unfortunately we copy and have become clones of in this society. So we have to get rid of this notion of gods and goddesses, first of all, because that's a willful misunderstanding on the part of the Egyptologists, okay, who want to accuse African people of polytheism so they can justify and brag that they have a greater idea in monotheism. Why, the monotheists have murdered, enslaved, raped, and still continue to bash African people to this day. They will kill you because they say you believe in many gods and they believe in one. Well, the devil is a killer and a murderer, from what I'm told. So it would seem as if the people who will come and kill you to force you to believe in their concepts are really devils walking around on 2 feet.
You know, I introduce you. I'm going to change tracks, and I hate to do it, but for this segment, there's some information that I must get in about you personally so that our viewers can understand who you are. I mentioned when I introduced you that I had come down to your jewelry studio, and I also mentioned that I didn't buy any jewelry. I bumped your mind. You know, you are adorned with many of the jewelry that you make in your studio, and I would like to begin perhaps with the symbol that's on your hat. And so if you can just explain the jewelry that my viewers are looking at, from the scarab kepra and to the ankh, would you please do that for us?
Hey, Jamie, pause it just for a second.
My design of what I call joy, Ellery, because it gives me joy to bring our ancestral emblems of culture to the fore, is actually the outgrowth of the reclamation of the ancient culture of the Nile Valley Africans. Being people from the Africans in the West, we have the choice of claiming any part or any aspect of African culture that we wish. I chose the Nile Valley because it's the oldest, most successful, and longest lasting. And of course, it is the one from which even the Yoruba claim they came, the Akan, the Dogon, the Wolof, they all claim they came from the Nile Valley regions. So I create these emblems of culture because they're actually meditations on inner beauty, meditations for the soul. Like when I when I put this on in the morning, this is the emblem of Heru, which the Greeks call Horus. We use the bird, the falcon, to symbolize the ascension in spirit. Just like in the Christian faith, they use the dove. They say Jesus ascended as a dove to his Father in heaven. The Hu, or Nebhu, which they call the Sphinx, likewise. This is an emblem of the permanence and the lion spirit of African people.
I wonder if my cameraman can come in and get that clear. I don't know. While you're going to talk, we try to figure it out.
You asked me about the emblem of my hat. Well, that's a lotus petal. And while many people assign the lotus to the Indians, because they have a lotus sutra, let's say, of meditation, the first and oldest lotus master was known as Asar, whom the Greeks call Osiris. And you will see on the papyrus of the Book of the Coming Forth, which they willfully mislabeled the Egyptian Book of the Dead, you will see that a lotus is growing out of the feet of Asar, and on that lotus are the 4 genii, or the 4 guardians of the body temple, known as the Mesu Heru, the children of Heru,
yes,
which guard the lungs, the liver, the small intestine, the large intestine, and stomach. And those organs were placed in separate jars and preserved in the resting place of our ancestors. So these emblems, the bracelet I wear, these are the eyes of Heru. You see
yes,
the eyes of Heru, which symbolizes balanced vision, attention, attentiveness, and also the awareness. All right. So each time when I put these on, here I have this lotus ring. I was born into the sign of the lion, so I have the lion made of 4 different metals: yellow, gold, white gold, bronze, and silver. And here, of course, I have the meditation on Heru again. The scarab. The ancestors would put, when you died, they would put a scarab over the heart, symbolizing that this person will come into being again, or the spirit of the person would resurrect. As a matter of fact, the early Christians of Alexandria in Kemet, now miscalled Egypt, they referred to Yeshua, Jesus, as the good scarab. All right? So it was not a worship of a beetle. It was the beetle represents the constant coming into being, something like the metamorphosis of the butterfly. From a slug it becomes a butterfly and grows wings. So it shows a symbol of transformation. All right? Because the beetle, known as the dung beetle, it rolls its eggs up in a ball of dung, and the larva eats and nourishes itself from the nourishment of the dung, and come into the world and goes and gathers dung and does the same thing ad infinitum. So it became the symbol of coming into being, which our ancestors call Keper or Kepera.
And you have forgot the Ankh. Now, don't forget the Ankh.
Oh, of course. They're calling me the Ankh man.
Yes.
And this divine sign, this is the preeminent sign of the African spiritual high culture, because it honors, first of all, the mother, the womb. It honors the father, and the synthesis, the children that comes from the womb through the seed of the father. It also symbolizes the water that rises up from the earth, up to the clouds, falling back on the earth as rain to bring vegetation out of the ground. It also is spirit, mind, and matter. So however you look at Ankh, it shows the continuous regeneration of the life force. Now, when the Romans adopted Christianity in order to co-opt it, they removed the sacred womb as the symbol, because the earliest Christians in Alexandria used the Ankh as their sign of early Christianity. They just adopted it from the early Africans of the Nile Valley. And of course, they themselves were African people like St. Augustine and whatnot. They all were living in Alexandria region. So the emperor Theodosius, I think in the 6th century BC,
you see, are you able to name all that stuff?
See how you doing? What?
You was able to name everything he got on and all that?
Right, right.
You have to be able to do that if you wearing our stuff.
Oh yeah, for sure.
I done seen many people, somebody ask them about that shit, and they don't need knowing. They done be having that shit on. And he showed right then, as a teacher, if you wearing it, you want to know what that shit means.
That's right.
And when somebody hear you go through that, that's when they give you your respect. They say, oh, he know his shit. You know what I'm saying? Hell yeah, he know his shit.
That's right.
You cannot be wearing our culture. And I'm not saying no wear it, but if you know what it's about, be able to explain to somebody what it is, what you doing. And then they gonna say, he ain't just got on, he ain't just wearing shit to be wearing it. Everything that motherfucker got on got a meaning behind it.
That's right. I've always said that.
In the truth. That new right now in the truth. That's right now in the truth.
Yeah. I've always said that though. I've always said that you have to know. You have to know if you're wearing something, you got to be able to explain it. You have to be able to explain it. You know what I'm saying? Always be able to explain it. If you're wearing something, even if you say something, you got to be able to explain it.
Right. And
you have
all
to
that,
explain it.
You look it up now. They asking you. You got it on. Don't tell nobody don't study it. Tell them what it is. God damn it.
That's right. That's right. Yeah. So that's that. I've always said that though. Always, man. You know, always.
And he did a great job when the man asked him. And that's why I brought it up. He was thorough in all of that. Telling what it meant, what it was for, why he went, what, man.
What it stand for. That's right.
Yeah.
Y'all ready?
Yeah.
I'm sorry, AD. He had an edict that closed the temple of Ast or Set on the island of Philae and banned the Ankh as the preeminent symbol of the early Christians. And then when Constantine came, he substituted the Roman sword, which is now the cross, as the symbol of that religion. So it's time that when we see how the patriarchal hierarchies of all the major religions are dealing in wars and death, it's time we restore the life, principle, respect for life. When people, I ride in cabs and they ask me, what's your religion? I say, take a deep breath with me. You've just joined my religion. What kind of religion is that? I said, it's the aim of all religions, life.
Yes.
There's nothing bigger, better than life. Even cockroaches want to live. You try to get them, and they're running.
The fastest thing running, aren't they?
Why? They're running for their lives.
Yeah, yeah.
So life must be the most important thing. So now all I have to do is respect your life, you respect my life, and that's the end of war. But if we argue now over, well, I'm a Muslim, and you're a Christian, we're going to argue over what? Dogma. I call it dogmas, the guts of dogs.
Yes.
Because all it does is create division, divisiveness. Sunday morning, Friday night, Saturday, and Sunday are the three most divided days in all of the religions, because they all have their various denominations, each one proclaiming themselves to be the right one. Now, if they just would exalt life and honor each other's lives, then they can sit down and discuss things in a civilized way. Since civilization should be about the preservation of life, devil worship involves disrespect of life, because it seems as if what they tell me about the devil is supposed to make your life miserable, and that's what wars do, make people's lives miserable. So all of those hierarchies, and I want to say here that this is not an indictment on members of religions. People are truly sincere in their belief that their faith in deity is going to save them from disasters, from all different types of maladies and disease. And as your faith is, so it will be for you. But you don't have to let anyone force you to believe in anything, because in African culture, and spiritual culture, you must know. Knowledge is greater than belief. When knowledge comes, belief has to sit down. If I hold a gun to your head, my brother, and I told you to believe that red is black, you will believe that red is black, and you will proclaim it with the loudest voice, you see, but you cannot know that red is black. Knowledge, your eyes will tell you that is not so. So we are living in the age of I know, which is the Aquarian age, which is on the horizon now. I think 2012, we actually come fully into Aquarius.
And let us continue where we were the last conversation. Our last conversation, we were talking about Islam, Christianity, and Judaism. And so we were talking so much about religion, good and evil. And one of the things I wanted to say is that after Nama united Samautawi, he brought in Amin-Ra, and then Amin-Ra was overthrown at the end of the first dynasty, and then Set was brought in. And many, many people have thought that Set represents evil. I have not agreed with that. I would like to hear what you have to say about Set, his worship, and his contribution to ourselves, and the contribution to the divine legacy of Samautawi Kemet.
Give thanks. I'm glad you mentioned the word, the name Smai Kawi, because Smai Kawi means the unity of the two regions, and that was the official name of the civilization of the Nile. Many people speak of Kemet, but Kemet was just the northeastern section of Smai Kawi. Tarseti, now known as Nubia or Ethiopia, was another region to the south of this great united region. To speak about Set, though, Set at one time in our legacy was had a benevolent aspect to it, because actually Set is unbridled force, and Set represents the challenge to Heru. And without Set, Heru really has no purpose for being, and that is why in the battle between Heru and Set, when Heru had got the better of Set and was about to slay Set, his mother said, "No, bind him," indicating that Set would live to fight another day.
And then she unbind him.
Right. Precisely, she let him go.
She let him
and
go.
And of course, Heru then, in his reflex action, knocked off her crown, and Tahuti came and put the crown of Het Heru on her head, the disc and the horns. So now, Set did not become malevolent or bad until the Hekshasu, the shepherd kings, came in and they adopted Set as their deity. That is when you find that the Nile Valley Africans really did not like Set, and he became malevolent. It's good to remember that many of the kings.
So he just said that the Hyksos adopted Set, right? That's what he just said.
Yeah, that's what he just said.
Yeah, he said the Hyksos adopted Set. Okay.
That's when Set became negative.
Became what?
Negative.
Negative.
Negative, right.
Yeah. He was never put up to a high level like that until the height of put him up to that high level. The height of put him up to that high level because they was in the war. He was associated with war. You with me?
Right.
Yeah.
And at that time, a negative thing began about him. You with me?
Right.
Before that, he wasn't negative. He was the opposite of Heru, but it wasn't not like he was the devil or he was not negative. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Yeah, you'll hear Setting in the name, Setting. It couldn't have been negative. You know what I'm saying?
Well, you're right, because he was down in Nubia. He was down in Nubia first.
It was already. It wasn't negative until some outsiders came in later and made him like fuck or something. Then they're like, fuck you, fuck. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Yeah, the president ain't negative until Trump get in. You with me? And then they're like, fuck the presidency. Fuck you, Trump. But before that, it was just the presidency. You know what I'm
Right.
saying?
Right.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Until some negative motherfuckers, until Mango made Trump what it is, then it's like, fuck you. But before that, the presidency was just what it was. You can have a good president, a bad president. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
It doesn't fucking matter. So, setting or set wasn't automatic negative. No, it set used to be with Ra. He on the mark of Ra.
Right. Right.
Yeah. And then when the party came in and uplifting them, then we don't like you no more. Fuck you.
Right.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah. Yeah, hell no. Fuck you, man. Cause they like you. Yeah.
Right. All
Yeah,
right.
that's good.
Y'all ready?
That's good. Yep. That's good.
Ready, Gerald?
Yeah.
Okay.
Took, and of course, in the second dynasty,
Hold
took
on,
the
now.
name Set.
Now, you are here standing in the 19th dynasty, right?
Right.
That's when they done hit, at the Amos them done hit the what's the name that. Now, the people in Kemetic going to war. You with me?
Right.
Now, they calling on hit names. Like Ramses. Set was his daddy. Ramses is the Mi'kmaq. Ramses, he got into that warrior nature and it daddy him. But his daddy was that. Let them know we going in that mind state now. We going in that warrior state. You know what I'm saying? And that's when they went and expanded him and went into that warrior. Or you hear about Ramses in that war. The war of finesse that they be talking about. Yeah, they fighting now. It's all that's happening right now.
Gerald digging it.
Yeah, but that's when we hear about them then, like you hear uh John Henry Falk and not the men, they love them dynasties. The 18th and the 19th dynasty. You with me? They love that now. But and then you hear them always talking about we warriors and we kick ass. No, them was the only time we were fighting. Other than that, we saw. We ain't really warriors. That's not really us. We more of a spiritual. We more of, them niggas is smart. Them niggas is in the spirituality. But in that 18th and 1990, we got into the warrior shit. You with me? And most of the people were talking about, oh yeah, Kemetic, we fight. No, we don't. No, we don't. No, we don't. No, we don't. When them Libyans came in there, they kicked our ass. When them goddamn Persians came in, they kicked our ass. When them goddamn the Greeks came in, they kicked our ass. We ain't no fighters like we think we are. Most of our civilization is us being smart, being builders. We not. We can fight if you mess with us, but that's not who we are.
Hey, but
We
when
need
they
to get
got,
people,
but
we need
when
to
they,
get people from the South to fight for us.
hey,
Yeah,
but
we got,
the 18th and 19th dynasty though, they was rocking though.
yeah, but they came We got people from the South to fight for us. You with me?
Yeah.
Yeah, then we will fight them. Then we developed internet. And then when we fought, we not that we can't fight, that's not what we really are. To make them think that we warriors, that's a lie. Now we smart. We really smart. And we really can meal from here. We'll fight when we need to. But white people, they the ones who can fight. They're the ones who build atomic weapons and weapons of destruction that'll kill everybody. It's them that really can fight. I like to fight.
Yeah, because they come from that war culture.
Right.
Yeah, they come as directly from that damn war culture, man. So that's all they did was war. I mean, that's all you could. I mean, what else you gonna do? You can't. You're not eating. You ain't. You ain't farming. You ain't doing no agriculture. You ain't doing none of that. You ain't. All you gotta do is fight to take something so you can live. That's all that's about. Hey, tell.
What that make me gangster. You with me? That you make me so. You with me?
Yeah.
Somebody in the ghetto will whoop the shit out of somebody in the suburbs. You with me?
Right.
Yeah, they was naturally come from the ghetto, from the roughest part. So they naturally fight. You know what I'm saying? Not that the motherfuckers in the suburb ain't gonna get it rocking when it's their turn, but that motherfucker from the ghetto, when you first run up on him, he gonna whoop your ass.
That's right. That's right. Because that's what he been doing. That's all he been doing is rocking.
Exactly.
That's all he's been doing. So he used to rocking. He used to rocking. If you ain't used to rocking, you gonna get whooped.
Look at boxing.
The problem is,
look at boxing, right? Boxing.
I know. Say it again.
He said, "Look at boxing. Look at boxing."
Oh, boxing.
Yeah.
Boxing.
They come from the ghetto.
Oh, yeah, but shit, because
they come from the ghetto that will whoop everybody ass on the whole planet. When they come from the ghetto of America, and they will whoop everybody ass on this planet. Mike Tyson,
they come from an area.
Mike Tyson, yeah, we gonna whoop everybody ass on the planet, and that's where they come from.
Look, that's right. Yeah. That's right. But check this out. Coming from an area where a motherfucker is fighting for resources, and motherfucking resources are scarce, you better start early, goddamn.
Yeah, because you gonna get straight whooped.
Yeah.
Look, even in your own household. Look, a lot of times it starts at the crib. It starts at the crib. A lot of times, shit. Be late to that table. Be late to that dinner table. And your plate made and you ain't there at your plate. You got some siblings. Shit.
Hey, let me tell you something.
You might be missing the wedding, boy.
Hey, Wayne County Jail. Hey, look here, man. You know what they do? Let me tell you what they do. Hey, they open up the damn gate. They'll slide in a crate of cereal and a crate of milk, and you on your damn own.
Damn.
You on your damn own.
Mm-hmm.
Get it how you live.
That's right. There it is. There you go. There you go. See?
And
so if you coming from that, it's always in you. It's always in you. Yeah. So getting in the ring, you mad as a motherfucker. Every time you get in the ring, you mad as hell at your whole life. You ready to beat everybody's ass.
That's right.
So you do gotta come from a culture of aggression. A culture of aggression, because I'm telling you, that's how we see these little kids coming in, man. The girls and the boys, the little girls coming in the juvenile center, man, they bad as the boys, ready to fight, man, ready to fight, scars up on them and shit, look young, but got scars and shit like battle wounds, man. Just come from that, young.
That's right.
Young,
that's right.
Baby, and already ready to get it. Fights, don't give a damn, all up in the teacher's face. ready to fight. Oh man, look, shit. So yeah, that you're right. That's why you get them from that. You ain't getting them cats who out the suburbs unless his parents had him in boxing since he was a kid and just cold with it because he just got skills. No, no. You get them motherfuckers who been knocking each other upside the goddamn head.
That's
fucked up.
That's right.
That's fucked up. But that's exactly, and once the black folks got involved, that was our way out the goddamn ghetto, out the ghetto, is to be able to take them hands and make some money with them. Hell yeah. And that was the fastest way. That was before you was rapping, before you was running a football, before you was throwing a goddamn baseball. Shit.
Yeah, now even the makers knew it. They even called them battle royals. And they would make all black people fighting in each other. And the next one was the king of the hill. You was tough. You beat up everybody. And then that became crime fighter. White men will put money on that person and put his fighter against other white men fighters. That's how they got fighting.
Like you fight some pits. Like you fight some pit bulls. No shit.
Right.
Exactly just like that.
Yeah.
Like
hey, but that's how we did it. Hey, but listen, man. But hey, that's how we did it though. We went around neighborhoods with boxing gloves, right? Challenging your best fighter. Bring your best fighter out. Let's go.
Exactly.
Hey, we did that. And we went around. Yeah, we did, man. And yeah, man. And so and so once, like I said, I told y'all before, once we got to the middle school, junior high school, it was a whole different breed of kids, man. I mean, King, when we came when we came in, ghetto kids, hood kids. You know what I'm saying? That's all. You know, you got a big ass park, and you got, man. Listen, man. Unc know about it. That shit was wild as shit over there, man.
Yeah, exactly, man. And we stayed busy though. No, we was in Lansing.
No, in Lansing, south side of Lansing. South side, man.
What years we talking?
Shit, we talking about what? What's that like?
Early 70s. I mean, the late 70s.
Late 70s. Yeah, late 70s. Late 70s, early 80s. Early 80s, man. Yeah, man. I mean, the 70s,
70s,
80s,
79.
Yeah, 70s, 80s. Okay. Yeah, man. It was wild, man. It was going down. It was going down, man. And then, like I said, it was just like I don't know what it was, but it was just so many of us, so many kids. It was a lot of us, man, because you had Railroad, Rydesdale, and you had three big ass complexes, like right next to each other.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I'm saying? Like that shit was crazy. And all of us went to the same school. And then, but once you get we went to the same elementary. But once we went to the junior high and mixed in with the other kids, oh yeah, man, that shit. Right. Once we did that,
I see. Yeah, that middle school, blend. Everybody, the smaller, all the elementary schools come together at middle school. That's how it was.
Yeah. You know, everybody go to school. Everybody in your hood gonna go to school with you. But then once you go to middle school, it opens up. Yeah, it opens up, and it's more kids from different areas, and that's when you had the motherfucking problems.
Yeah,
that's when shit started.
That's when you had the issues, and that's when you had the shut down of the schools, and oh yeah, man, we shut him down. We shut him down, man. They said that had never happened ever.
Yeah, y'all put work in over there at Rich, man.
Yeah, man, we shut him down. We shut that school down. They shut it down, emptied the school out, had everybody outside, police, fire trucks. They had everything out there, man.
And that was just the first few days of school.
First day, man. First day of school, shut him down, man.
Wow.
Shut him down, King. Like there was a bunch of us that we couldn't even go to the same school together, man. We had to go see Mr. Letts, Earl Letts, before we even can go back to school. We had to go downtown and talk to Earl Letts before we could even go back to school.
Black school superintendent.
Yeah, we couldn't even go back to school until we talked to him. We had to physically go and talk to that brother, man, before we could go back to school. And then it was like, because man, yeah, man, it was wild, man.
Yeah. But it's the same thing, you know, the inner breakdown, you know what I mean? It ain't the reason because of the wars, but it was still going on. The breakdown in the smaller communities and sides of town, and the same thing that seems like in Africa, you know, just breakdowns.
Yeah, you just like you said, you had these hood kids, these ghetto ass kids mixing in with these, you know, some good areas and some different areas, and shit. Yeah, man, it was you know. Then they had, yeah, it was wild, man. That was a different year, but yeah, but you know, that's good. That's right though, man. Like, you know, you gonna imitate your atmosphere, man, and that's what we did, man. Because that's what we did. That's what we was doing in the park all day, rocking. We be in the park rocking all day. Basketball court going. Niggas might be rocking on the basketball court. Get mad on, you know, about the game. You got a big ass park, man. You got everything
Huge
going on.
Park.
Huge ass park, man. So everything going on. You got us in the park with the boxing gloves. Cats are from all over the place coming to the hood to box the motherfuckers. You know what I'm saying? Yeah,
And they got
man.
the boys and girls thing right there too.
Yeah, you had the Boys and Girls Club right there, man, in the same spot, right in the middle of the goddamn projects. Like what?
Right,
like,
right.
What?
Yeah.
Yeah, man. So yeah, yeah. So.
Well, on that, just keep in mind, right? It ain't got nothing to do with race. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, that's what I was just saying too. You know, that ain't the reason why all these invasions taking place, man. It's because they got that war culture, and that's all they do.
Exactly.
Now, listen what I'm saying. Listen what I'm saying. The environment makes you that way, not who you are.
Right.
You with
your
me?
environment. You're a product of your environment.
When white people was in that environment, they was that way. You understand?
Right.
You give them everything they want, then they learn. You with me?
Right.
Yeah.
You like, you walk on the white boy and slap the shit out of him when he got everything he want. You with me?
Yeah.
Cause we don't got it now. We the ones that living rough. We don't got no food. So that make us rough then. You with me?
Right.
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 So it ain't because you white or black. It's that you ain't
I
got no food.
missed that. Say that again. I missed that. Say that last.
All right.
I missed that, Joe. Repeat that for me.
When the white people didn't have no food or nothing, that's when they were violent. Yeah. Then when they got everything and took over the world, you seem like they nice. You know what I'm saying? You don't want to slap the shit out of a white man. Shut up, white boy. You know, I'll whoop your motherfucking ass, white boy.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
It's like he's the scary one now.
I see what you're saying.
When he used to be the violent one, you couldn't do him like that when he didn't have the world. We wasn't the ones that was soft, and we had the world. But now that they took everything away from us, now if you want the world, we ain't got no supply, then we the violent ones. We'll whoop your motherfucking ass. You know what I'm saying? So, just like, it don't matter if you black or white, just like Jamie was saying, what they grew up with, they wasn't the have-nots. You know? So that made them rough. They don't want anybody else ass in the motherfucking city who got something. Cause they soft. Yeah. They more rougher. Now, when you grow up and you start getting stuff and you move into the suburbs, it's somebody else, them young niggas who ain't got nothing, will come take your shit. Whether they white or black. They young and they don't have resources. So they coming to take other people's shit. That's just what it is.
Right.
Yeah.
Yeah. Good breakdown.
So, even our young black men, when they young and they ain't got no money or nothing, them niggas in the summer, they rhyming. That's what all young people do that. Not when you black or white or Mexican. When you young and you don't got resources, you eating. You taking it from somebody.
Somebody gonna come up show.
Yeah, you finna take it. You finna, they gotta resource enough to hold on to it.
Somebody definitely gonna come up show. That's for sure.
Yeah. Then when that same person get older and got his own money, he mad at somebody gonna come take his shit. It's changed. Yeah, it's always like that. When I was young at a certain age, I would take your shit. You know what I'm saying? Maybe at a certain age, maybe when I was 16 or 17, you gotta watch me. You gotta watch me. Cause if you was listening, your shit was missing.
Hey, see, and that's what I'm saying. Hey, look, hey, when we needed bikes, where we go? Michigan State.
Michigan
You go out to
State,
Michigan
baby.
State,
Michigan State.
get all the slick ass bikes, go pick you one. You go walk and pick you one and take a bike, just take your bikes. That's how we used to get our bikes. Go to Michigan State, get your bike.
Yeah, everybody went to Michigan State.
Yep, go get your bike.
When somebody want to get a car, they don't go to the hood. Ain't no cars in the hood. They gotta go to the suburbs. They affluent places to get a car. You with me?
Right.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Them people more south. You with me?
It don't matter
You
if
think
you
they
black
more
or
south.
white.
They more south than south. You go in the hood, that nigga gonna come out and deal with you. You fucking with him. He ain't hauling no hop. You have to deal with him 101.
Right.
Yeah, and that's the way it is.
Hey, that's right. But that's right though, man. Like yeah, I see it, man. Like we did the same thing, man. We ain't take nothing from the neighborhood. We went out to Michigan State, get our shit.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Ain't nothing in the neighborhood shit. And then you gonna end up fighting a motherfucker because he gonna recognize his shit. You know what I'm saying? So no, you go out to Michigan State, get your bike, and you come on back.
And you get in and you get out. You don't be parlaying out in the L.
No, you get your shit and come on right back.
Yeah.
And they know y'all when they see y'all. They know when y'all there.
Yeah, we had to fight a few people, man, because they pulled up.
And we definitely stand out. We definitely stand out. We
Just
stand
like
out.
if
Shit.
somebody come in your neighborhood and they don't look up to no hood, you won't see them.
Yeah,
you know
damn right.
It's natural.
Got some splaining to do.
Yeah, and you better and don't have on nothing worth nothing.
Exactly.
No, don't you do that, because you're gonna get yourself in trouble. You're gonna get yourself in trouble. You're gonna get yourself in trouble, and then like, see, motherfuckers don't. It ain't enough for you to just hand it over. Motherfuckers still gotta sock you in your face.
Yeah,
you know what I'm saying? That ain't enough just to hand it over. Motherfuckers still gotta have some kind of damn action.
What white people need when they said that all black people always at a lower rate than them. So we always gonna be better than them, which is a false statement. You with me?
Right.
Yeah, now we might need another black man might be a predator to another black man. You know what I'm saying? But white people look like all black people is better than them. Now, a black man can look at a white man and say, nigga, you ain't got nothing. I need to watch myself around you.
Yeah.
Yeah, but racism make you just put it on a race. Not the circumstance, but it's just a race. So, you got Africans that's rich as hell. They ain't finna do nothing to nobody. They ain't gonna never. They South is a motherfucker African. You know what I'm saying? For a
Don't be
white
talking
man,
about my people, man.
now when a white man looking at him like he finna do something, that's a South. You know what I'm saying? That African ain't never gonna be wrong. He
Because they
not
see him,
even making it.
because they see him as spear chuckers and animal and
Right.
lion tacklers.
Right. Now that
Yeah.
African ain't gonna never be wrong. You
Yeah, he
might
like
pick
that.
one that
I'm
might do
innocent.
something to you, but not all Africans. Not all black folks don't do that.
Right. They don't want no
Yeah.
smoke.
Don't do that to us.
Right. Right.
Yeah.
But that's
That
they
would be
own.
called racism.
But there again, that's that inner stuff that they got to deal with, man, and is deeply ingrained, and you can't they can't get out of it just by scratching the surface, man. They got to come to Sankofa and get some of this.
Yeah.
That's right.
What they're trying to do is get our young black people to listen to what they saying. You know what I'm saying? They like to flip us on their side.
Yeah, yeah.
Yeah.
Baba said, don't fall for the Egyptologist.
Yeah, it's Charlie Kirk. Charlie Kirk.
The
Charlie
Egyptologist.
Kirk was trying to make me think his way. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
His way is the right way. And then any black person that thinks like him, he'll say he love them. You know, he'll go that far. I love y'all.
Right.
I dance with y'all. I high five and all that kind of shit.
Right.
But you thinking like him. You ain't even like, I understand what you say, you understand what I say. It ain't even, it's like Sandy Owens. You done came all the way over to my side. That's the only reason I like you.
You said Candace Owens?
Jacksonville Drive.
Yeah, not that we even, not like I got my view and you got your view. Now you gotta come over and think like me. Then I will like you. Only then. Yeah.
Yeah, that's crazy.
Mm-hmm.
Y'all ready?
Yeah, let's get a little bit more.
All right.
All right.
Just good participation, man. I like it.
Sure.
Yeah.
Some even took the name Set Heru. You would see sometimes.
Hey, hold on just a second. Just a second.
That,
you remember when he said that they was pink? That'll start some shit up. Yeah, that's all I wanted to say.
Yeah.
Set and the head of Set and Heru was on one body. And in the Pertem Ru, the book of the coming forth, mislabeled the Egyptian book of the dead, they refer to the two fighters within me, which is Heru and Set, our higher nature, Heru, and the lower nature, Set. In the body temple, the higher region and the lower region is divided by the heart center, the heart arit, or gateway, known as a chakra in the Indian system. That Heru was given the region from the heart to the head, and then Set was given the region from the lower part of the heart to the gonads. All right, but then Geb, who was the presiding over the tribunal of the battle between Heru and Set, gave it all to Heru, which means that all the kings and queens that sat on the Nile Valley Queen Kingdom throne, they took the title Heru, and their job was to restore Ma'at, to take the lower energy and bring it up to the higher regions. Set represents gravity, Heru represents levity. That is why you would see in the glyphs, you would see that Heru is symbolized as a falcon, and Set is an animal always sitting down with a tail that has the shape of a television antenna, rabbit ears, just like that. And I always tell the brothers and sisters, I said, the battle between Heru and Set, Set took out Heru's eye, which is what happens when you're too much into the TV set. You lose your eye. And the Setian culture...
You lose your consciousness.
Precisely, which is your eye.
Yes.
Okay. But it's good to remember, we should remember that Set is not necessarily evil. Set is your challenges. The evil is Apap. Apap, which unfortunately has this name Papa to it. And
it does, doesn't it?
It does, and we're not going to talk about the definition of Papa.
Not on this show.
No, we won't. Yeah.
Okay.
But the fact is that is evil. That's the crystallization of evil. You would see on the temple walls, you would see both Heru and Set on the boat fighting the enemies of Ra, Apap. And they're both putting spears in the folds of Apap.
That's true.
Because Apap is evil crystallized.
Right.
And the individual must sometimes marshal his higher and lower forces to deal against that evil that comes from without.
In fact, it has been said this way, that if we did not have Set in us, that we would not be able to survive.
Precisely.
Because people would just run over us.
Mm-hmm.
The Muslims codified it as the inner jihad, and it's the same definition, same connotation as Set. You must fight the evil within inside yourself.
That's right.
You fight your lower nature that to rise to your higher consciousness, which Heru represents,
Indeed, and even the Hu, or the Sphinx, represents the same thing. It shows the head on a lion's body. The lions representing the animal nature, and the head of the man representing higher consciousness. You see, so we definitely need these two forces, but too much Set will keep you set in your ways. You see, Set your bad habits.
Yes.
The habits that will keep you grounded, keep you from rising up. And so we want to be Heru. We want to really levitate and be in the spirit. But you can't live in the spirit all the time. You've got to deal with earth conditions. In the Pertem Heru it says that I arise to the highest heights of heaven, but I come down to the earth of Seb. And indeed, Smai-Tawi, the very name of the nation, indicated that the people who gave it that name saw that you had to wear the crown of heaven and the crown of earth, that you had to deal with the spiritual and the material realm, and indeed the building of our temples was to invite biocosmic energy from outer space onto the earth plane. We see the configuration of the pyramids of Giza being in the same configurations as the 3 stars in the belt of Sa, now called Orion. That our ancestors were very much into what was happening in the planisphere above, because of course there were farmers and gardeners. And when you're a farmer and a gardener, you had better look up at where the stars are. You'd better check out the phases of the moon if you want to get the right return on what you plant, in the ground. So people say, that looking at the stars is evil. Well, if that's evil, please never look at your watch. Never look at the sunrise, okay? Because the sun is the clock by which the Most High keeps time for us on earth. And as many people like to disparage sun worship, why is Sunday such a great day of worship? The sun day. Likewise, the Muslim prayers take place at various hours of the day. And how do you measure the hours of the day? Through the movement of the sun. So don't give me that crap about sun worship. Okay, that's a patent lie in order to slander and defame African thought and African culture and bring us nomadic thought as the tabula rasa by which we should define our consciousness and how we look at things spiritual and religious.
Speaking about Smai-Tawi again, and speaking about the invasions of the foreigners who came in and polluted our spirituality, they call him the heretic king. What is your opinion? Talk on the so-called heretic king, Akhenaten, so-called creator of monotheism, which again I feel is a misnomer because he did not create monotheism. We always believed in one supreme force, one created force. Would you agree with that?
Yes, we call that force Ntara, or the great divine, the great divinity. And just like you have today, don't you have God? And then you have the angels.
And then you have Jesus, the Son of God.
You see, and of course,
and the prophets of God.
You pause it just a second.
Now, in modern religiosity,
do you guys recognize that he talks with the click?
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Yeah, no doubt. I
You said
never
with a
recognized
lisp?
that in him. Go ahead.
What you say with a lisp?
No, with a click.
A click. Okay, let me pay attention. Matter of fact, send that to me.
Yeah,
Copy that too.
I'll send it to you for sure.
Okay.
Here you go, right here.
It's rarely that he clicks, but I caught it about 4 times already.
Okay. Okay.
Watching.
It's such a great day of worship, the Sun Day. Likewise, the Muslim prayers take place at various hours of the day.
Mm-hmm.
And how do you measure the hours of the day? Through the movement of the sun. So don't give me that crap about sun worship. Okay, that's a patent lie in order to slander and defame African thought and African culture and bring us nomadic thought as the tabula rasa by which we should define our consciousness
It's
and how
coming
we
up,
look
Eric.
spiritual and religious.
Speaking about Samal Tawi again, and speaking about the invasions of the foreigners who came in and polluted our spirituality, they call him the heretic king. What is your opinion? Talk on the heretic, so-called heretic king. So-called creator of monotheism, misnomer, because he did not create monotheism. We always believed in one supreme force, one created force. Would you agree with that?
Yes, we call that force Ntara, or the great divine.
You catch that, E?
Catch it.
Oh no, I missed it. We said
Hold
enter.
on. Oh, we go again. Watch this.
Our consciousness and how we look at things spiritual and religious.
Speaking about Samal Tawi again, and speaking about the invasions of the foreigners who came in and polluted our spirituality, they call him the heretic king. What is your opinion? Talk on the heretic, so-called heretic king, Akhenaten, so-called creator of monotheism, which again I feel is a misnomer because he did not create monotheism. We always believed in one supreme force, one created force. Would you agree with that?
Yes, we call that force Ntara, or the great divine, the great divinity.
Catch the E.
No.
Missed it again.
What did he say?
He's going ink.
What?
He's doing ink.
Oh, okay, right up in there. Okay,
Ink,
I got you. I got you.
Now watch it again.
That's what I thought you meant. Bro. I wasn't sure. Okay. Y'all heard him say that,
Watch
yeah?
it again.
Okay.
African culture and bring us nomadic thought as the tabula rasa by which we should define our consciousness and how we look at things spiritual and religious.
Speaking about Samal Tawi again, and speaking about the invasions of the foreigners who came in and polluted our spirituality, they call him the heretic king. What is your opinion? Talk on the heretic, so-called heretic king, Akhenaten, so-called creator of monotheism, which again I feel is a misnomer because he did not create monotheism. We always believed in one supreme force, one created force. Would you agree with that?
Yes, we call that force Ntara, or the great divine, the great divinity. And just like you have today, don't you have God? And then you have the angels.
And then you have Jesus, the Son of God.
You see,
You know,
and of course,
and the prophets of God.
precisely. Of
Yeah.
course, now in modern religiosity, it's patently.
All right. How he learned that word? You with me?
Which word?
How he learned that word?
Right.
And what made him pronounce it like that?
Okay. Okay.
That make sense?
Yeah, because he done it about this. Like I said, that was the first time I heard him do it. And
certain words that he used, that's how he learned them. You with me?
right.
If you being taught by them people and you learn a word that got a click in it, you won't think that's how you say it. You with me?
Right, right.
Yeah, it just means somebody learning from somebody, and if I teach you like that, and I got a click in my when I say it, you don't have a click when you say it. So it's not that something wrong with them.
Right.
That's a learned behavior. They learning to click like that. It ain't like they. The word that they say got a click in it. That's why they say it like that.
Right, right. That's pretty tight.
Yeah, that's why he ain't clicking on anything. He only clicking on some of them old words.
Right, right.
That makes sense.
That makes sense.
That's an old word when he say it. You know, he say that word now, and you can tell he done got it from, the Imperial people, and that's how they pronounce it. So he don't have that click in his mouth when he say it. That's all that is.
Yeah, that's good.
So people thinking that men talk that way, ain't nothing wrong with them. It ain't nothing bad at. If men talk, that's the word. That's the meaning. You just got a click in it. You know what I'm saying? It ain't like we saying nothing really retarded. It just is how true. If somebody tell me the word is how true, that's how I'm saying. How true.
Right, right, right.
Yeah.
Oh, yes, I highly respect the language. Yeah, I respect it for sure. Thank you.
Yeah, I respect
Sometimes
it.
they're laughing at saying, oh, that's shit. It ain't nothing, it ain't nothing. No, the shit is just like Morse code. You with me?
Right.
If somebody know Morse code, all I gotta do is say, pass, not pass. I'm sending you a message in that way. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
It don't mean that I talk like that or I'm stupid. You just understand not what that means in that message. Simple as that.
Yeah, that's good.
Pig Latin. Y'all done talk pig Latin before, right?
Yeah.
You heard somebody talking pig Latin, it don't mean he retarded. You know what I'm saying? It don't mean that he retarded. He don't not know. They talking his code. It's a code that they knowing. Not only they know what it is.
There you go.
And if you don't learn that code,
Right.
you don't know what they talking about.
Yeah,
Right.
pig
True.
Latin. He brought pig Latin out on it.
I ain't heard that in a long time. Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Ready?
My man. Yeah. My man.
Ain't no bad. That's good. That's good. All right.
Patriarchal. There are no female angels in the heavens of any of the major religions. I ask people, I lecture in universities, colleges, I ask the audience, can you give me the name of one female angel? Total silence. I say for every Gabriel, there should be a Gabriella. For every Michael, there be a Michaela. Even Lucifer should have a Lucifera. Because in our cosmology, in African cosmology, everything is balanced. If above, so below, and if it takes feminine and masculine energy to create life on the earth, so it must be in cosmos. All right? Because to us, we saw heaven as the womb of space, as Nut, the divine space mother. And all of the galaxies, all of the stars and suns and comets and planets resided within the womb of space. And the womb, once again, is a feminine principle. So you see, African culture always honored the mother. That's why we place her on the top of creation. Does this make the man weak? He had better be strong to uphold this divine principle of the mother's womb and the children that comes from that womb. I would say that if we were more conscious of that, we wouldn't have the wars that we have now between the women and the men. Because, you see, men see deity as only he. We pray to the man upstairs, never to her. Yet, in our lives, we know that many times the man is gone, and it's mama who keeps things going in our community anyway. So we should likewise have a belief in a deity who is a mother and father of all creation.
Speaking about the womb of life, one of the things that Americans, Europeans, and black people do is they always talk about Mother Earth. In the Kemetic legacy, there was no Mother Earth. It was Geb, Father Earth,
Precisely.
And Nut, who was the mother in the sky.
Mother
Can you
sky.
speak on that for a minute, please?
True. Well, just like in the Chinese they speak of the yin and yang, on earth there is a mother aspect to the earth, and that's the topsoil out of which the plant emerges, you see, from the womb of the earth, from the womb of the soil. However, the bedrock on which this earth rests is masculine. The metals in the earth are all masculine. Ptah, who is the neter of metals, is shown as a masculine deity, all right? But in Ptah, there is concealed the feminine T, because in our legacy, the T is a feminizer, symbolizes the breast. Of course, Egyptologist says it's a loaf of bread, but even so, it's still a nurturing principles to help your life.
Even Kemet ends in the T.
Precisely.
Right, yeah.
Showing again
the feminine aspect of it, yes.
And the king wore the double crown that had a cobra and a vulture.
Both female, yes.
Wachit and Nekabet. And that was known as the two ladies' name of the king, because we saw the land as feminine, you know, that we served the mother principle. And the king was also entitled Insut Biti, okay, again the B, bit, and the plant, the soot plant, the soot plant of the south. South comes from soot or Set, again, the region that Set ruled in his benevolent aspect. Let me tell you, my brother, I can sit here all night and talk about the beauty of this legacy. There's so many aspects to it that for the lay person out there, they may wonder, what in the world is he talking about?
Yes.
But this information has been willfully kept from our people and from all people. It has been kept in a place they call Egyptology in order to deny its Africanity.
In fact, just to expand on what you're saying, when you talk about Egyptology, you have to go to East Asian studies in order to even get Egyptology. You can't get it in Africa.
At the University of Chicago, they have a place called the Oriental Institute. Now, if you don't know any better, you think, well, this is the study of the Chinese and the Japanese lifestyle, because we usually associate the Orient with Japan and China. You know, well, Orient means what? East. You know, relative to where we are in America, all of Africa, Russia, all of those lands are in the Orient. You know?
True.
And this is what they would call the Occident. I think it's more like the accident, Columbus's accident, who didn't discover anything. All he discovered was that he was lost. That's what he discovered. How could you discover? It's like somebody discovering your car parked on 125th Street, you know?
No, I was just saying, get him, Baba. Good.
So no, there's no such discovery, and that's why I think it's such a tragedy this Columbus Day about the discovery. No, that's the European discovery that the Earth was indeed round after the battle Galileo, where he got the knowledge that the Earth was round from Kemet. But they never want to give credit to the Africans of the Nile Valley for this knowledge. They always try to make it seem as if it dropped out of space. And then now they're saying that ancient Egypt was built by people from outer space, by aliens, you know. Well, yes, Egypt was created by aliens with an attitude, but Kemet was created by Africans of the Nile. And let's say that the civilization came from Central Equatorial Africa. And that's another thing we have to watch, because when we speak of north, we always think of north as up, you see, and all the map makers are Europeans, so they always have north on top because they want Europe to be on top of everything. But with a round ball moving in space, who say that north must always be on top? You can choose to look at the Earth from any perspective. I prefer to look at it not from the north or from the south. I look at it from the eastern perspective where the sun rises. And in the summer solstice, that eastern perspective, it rises right over the equator. And when it passes over the Great Lakes of Africa, which we call the Apet, that's to us the top of the world, and that's where the Nile River has its beginnings in the southern region. And then it flows down the slope of the earth, down north. You see, Lake Tana likewise would be up, and it flows down north to the delta. It meets at Khartoum in Sudan and then flows down into the lotus tributaries of the Great Green Sea, which we call the Huat Ur, or the Great Green, now called Mediterranean. So we have to begin to look at even our world from a different perspective, because if we just follow the map makers, they always show it with north being on top.
That happened around 1555. Prior
Precisely.
to that, it was Africa was on top.
Yes.
I mean, you know that Africa must be on top because the Nile does not flow against gravity.
Precisely.
So it's not
Precisely.
flowing up; it's flowing down.
And that's why this whole idea of south being up, it confuses people, because we are looking at the earth from a European perspective. And it's understandable. They make the map, so they're going to give themselves the favor, you see. And then you have the tragedy of people in Australia calling themselves down under. Down under where? Please. You're in a round ball, a beautiful space ball ship moving around in space. And I must say to my brothers and sisters in all the religions, we are already in heaven. Where you want to go up and freeze? We're already in heavens.
You know what Dr. Ben says about heaven, don't you?
Yes, he says he places heaven in a particular part of our women's anatomy, but I would say that heaven is our women, period. All of her. I just don't subscribe to applying it just to one part of her. She's totally heaven.
I mean, the legacy says that the woman is the heaven because Newt is the heaven.
Precisely.
So the woman is the heaven.
Yes, and we love to go to heaven, don't we?
Right. I stay in heaven.
Yeah.
So you see, sisters, you have a part to play in this thing. Don't give it all up to the man upstairs. You have a very important part, because in our legacy, what has happened is that people who tend to live an inverted lifestyle, they brought the woman down from heaven and put the man upstairs, and that's the reason why now he's grown wings and flapping around with a problem with his wrist. But you see, we have to make those corrections.
While we're talking about the women, let's expand upon that, would you please, because there are many deities, there are many energy forces that are nectaru, that are represented by female.
Precisely.
And our women need to know that. Our women need to know first that the first temple of love ever built for a woman was built by a Nosut, a pharaoh, for his favorite queen. That's called Abu Simbel, the double temple of Abu Simbel. You know?
that Ramesses II built for his beautiful
I didn't want to use the word Ramesses.
Ramesu.
Okay, you know. All right, so but let's go into some of the some of the deities, some of the energy forces that are represented as female forces?
Well, the first and most important one is Ma'at. Ma'at was known as the Lady of Truth, and she represents the divine order and balance that exists in all of nature. And she's shown as a woman with a feather of an ostrich feather in her headband, all right? And the kings and queens of the Nile Valley nation of Smaikawi, they always refer to themselves as Nib, which means Lord, or Nbet,
or Master.
or or Nbet, Lady of Truth, righteousness and order. And I would like to say that our governmental system was a Ma'aticracy. It means a governance of righteousness, governance of order, a governance of law. So we like to think that foreigners brought us the idea of law and morality. No, we had it long before. And Moses got at least 8 of the 10 commandments from the 42 oracles or laws of Ma'at, which was the basic moral system that guided the African life. And I tell couples today, I said that you must enthrone Ma'at in your home, because the man doesn't rule, nor does the woman rule. Ma'at rules, and both of you serve the higher principle of balance in your lives. And if you do that, if you realize that you, woman, you sit on your throne as the queen, the man sits on his throne as king in your household, both of you are servants of Ma'at, then your children would see what the order is and give respects to both hemispheres. Because today there's too much misogyny, too much refusal to see the power of the woman and to give her the proper respect that she deserves. Too much abuse of our women. And too many of our women, unfortunately, play into that and allow it to happen. So
we got 10 minutes, and I need. Oh, okay. So I need you to go into Sekhmet. I need you to go in Aset and Nehuvet.
Sekhmet, vital force. Ast and Nebuchadnezzar, the 2 sisters. Now this is very important and so empowering for our women to know that these 2 women, Ast and Nebuchadnezzar, who they call Isis and Nephthys, were the ones who put the body of the broken and the first crucified Savior in our story, or his story for that matter. They put his body together again. Now, in the story as we see it in the Bible with Yeshua, with Jesus, when Mary and Martha got there, the stone had already been rolled away. Yeshua, Jesus, had already ascended. So they had nothing to do with his resurrection. But in the African story, the woman not only made his resurrection possible, but they made his ascension possible. And not only that, they were responsible for fashioning the organ of regeneration that had been swallowed by the fish, and uttering hekau, words of spiritual effective action that caused his organ to rise. And Ast transformed herself into a female falcon and took the seed of Asar into her spiritual union. They refer to it as immaculate conception nowadays because the people who use that term see sex as dirty. Well, it's dirty if that's how you think about it. And if you think about the woman as dirty, and that's another problem that male oriented religiosity has. And that's the reason why they always put down the woman. But in our culture that is forbidden, because the mother must be given her proper respect. So therefore, you had Meshkanet, who was the woman, the principle of the birth chamber. Meshkanet is the power that allows you to rebirth yourself. Renanet, the one who gives you your name. Your name is tied up with your fortune. That's why we must choose names that have meaning and significance, and we must stop creating these names out of the sky. You know, like I don't even want to use the names that we choose nowadays. So these feminine principles, like Mut, the origin of the word mother. Mut is shown, and simply, why did you use a vulture to symbolize the mother? Well, without the vulture, the desert would be an ecological disaster. And that vulture, to show how it nurtures its young, in the drought season, that vulture would prick its own thigh and allow its baby vulture to drink its blood in order to spare the baby's life. So the vulture is not a terrible animal. The Most High made all things. All right. You would have likewise. We spoke of Nut, the divine mother.
And Het Heru, let's talk about
Het Heru. Oh, Het Heru. The Yoruba refer to her as Oshun. Het Heru was known to us as the divine principle of nurturing, of sensuality, of sexuality, of joy, of merriment, of festival. This is the zone of Het Heru, of beauty. All right, and we do have Kaisa Het Heru, who is the keeper of the oldest shrine dedicated to Het Heru here in North America. And she likewise is at the studio of Ptah down in Manhattan, and she does fantastic work with, she weaves Kemetic cloth, okay, and she also does clay work of what we call she pots, you know, honoring
hold
the
it
woman.
for the next time.
Good, thanks.
That was good.
For sure, man. Hold on.
Yeah, he put it
Yeah,
down,
for sure,
man.
for
Nice.
sure, man. Hey, that's right though, man. Hey, so family, listen, man. Hey, it ain't nothing without, it ain't no us without the female. Hey, as a matter of fact, hey, with that being said, hey, before I get into it, anybody want to say something?
No,
Say
I'm
something
good.
about
I'm good.
Gerald?
I'm good.
E.
No, I'm good. You good, bro?
Okay, now I was just what I was saying is Unc asked a question. He asked me a question. What the question was about the woman being God.
The woman being created before all things. The woman being the first creation. Is that the one you talk? Is that the question you're talking about?
I thought it was. I thought it was about. I thought it was yeah or her. Yeah, something like that.
When I called you and you was at work?
Right. Yeah.
Yeah. Because James Small said that he was giving a lecture and he said that the woman is the first of creation, and so Jamie broke it down pretty sweet.
So what? So I mean, I just want to get the other brothers' perspective on it. So what's your take on it? E or or Gerald, what's your take on it?
Oh, when the female her?
Huh?
Jamie, you should share your perspective first. What you shared with me, because I can't say it like you did. You should.
No. I mean, but just pose the question to him.
Okay. All right. Go ahead, Gerald.
The horse in the female her?
No.
Go ahead, Jamie.
So the question is, pretty much is was the woman first or was the man first, right? Is that was pretty much what it is?
That's what I was. Well, you broke it down to that, but to make it make sense, right?
But what was
the
question?
My question was, it wasn't a question, it was a statement that James Small said that the woman was the first of creation. And then you broke it down and you saying that the woman was born before the man, and then you broke down the anatomy and all that stuff. So
right. Okay. So what the Professor James Small said was that the woman was created first, pretty much, right?
that was the first of creation.
First of creation. What do you say about that?
Oh, me? Or anybody?
Yeah.
He can't do that.
Huh?
He can't do that.
Same thing Jamie said.
Right.
Yeah.
We can't prove
if somebody said
that.
a man was the horse or the woman was the then show me the proof.
See, I said.
Other than that, when they talk about us as humans, then we jumping out of
balance.
Yeah, out of mountains, and it was a goddamn. It didn't come out this man and woman like that. That's Adam and Eve. That's some fairy tale shit. And it pop off like that. You know what I'm saying? We went through a process. We didn't start out as humans like we are now. That wasn't the evidence, yo. So sometimes they'll say, well, Lucy, when they always connect back to Lucy, 4 million years ago, they got older specimens than Lucy. They got 40, no man, 8 million years. That was a man. You know what I'm saying? So all that wasn't in that man or the woman. We evolved. And what they say, when you're dealing with evolution, from that beginning, man and woman was in that. Man and woman was in that. So the hop off like moved humanity, and then animal or Eve, when it's black and white, it didn't happen like that. So when somebody say, well, the man was first, or the woman, neither one of y'all don't know what y'all talking about. Just like you don't know. If you intelligent enough, say you don't know. But don't pop out and take either side. Oh, that's a
Okay. Hey,
bullshit
E, what you?
to me.
Oh, go ahead. Right. Okay. E, what you think?
Hello? Now,
Yeah, we
pose the
here.
question again for me, please. Yeah, pose the question again for me.
So is so Professor James Small said the woman was the first creation.
Between he's referred it to of human beings or just species. No, I don't understand that one because what I
Yeah.
understand is what they say is that you had a time where before you were human, you had a time where cells divide anyway. Cells themselves at some point became male and female.
Oh,
And once those cells became male and female, they became development. But to say that the first person was a female, reproduction happened in cells before it happened in humans. That makes sense. Does everybody agree or disagree with that? Before I go
Yeah,
any further,
yeah, I agree with that.
because if you
Say that.
don't,
Say that
I'll
part
stop
again.
right here if you don't understand
Say,
that.
say that again, E.
Re- reproduction, when two living things came together and came up with offspring, happened with cells before it happened with humans.
Right. Right.
right.
Okay, so if you could start there, then you could work your way up, and then see where at one point did cells began to stop reproducing on their own and start needing other cells to reproduce. Biology taught us that shit, but you got to go back. And I mean, I probably got some videos on it, but if depending on how far you want to go back.
Yeah.
But
Yeah.
if
That
to
makes
say
sense,
the
though. That
first
makes
human being was a
sense.
female, to say the first human being was female, I would lean more towards that than to say it was a male, only because the female has the ability to carry young. Now, there have been also some discoveries say a female has the ability to find a way to fertilize her own egg. I've never seen it happen, never heard it, but I've heard someone talk. But I know in some other living species, the species can change, can morph from male. Some fish species can morph from male to female.
Yeah.
Some
Mm-hmm.
codfish can do the same. They can mimic other species just for reproduction purposes. But for the reason, no, you can't. I can't say. But with Dr. Small, he had to explain that deeper for me to say, I can see where he's coming from. But if no, there had to be a starting point. I get that.
Right.
Where that starting was, the starting point had to be somewhere between a male and a female. Now, what that male
Right.
was and what that female was, that's up to discussion. God damn it, because we don't
That's
know
right.
yet. You know what I'm saying? Either wherever that happened, there, wherever led you in the womb, you had to have a male's sperm to get into a womb and be born and all that shit. So, as far as I know, but if there is an immaculate way for that to fucking happen, I'm not sure.
Right.
But there has been cases that say that, but nothing until I can prove. No.
Okay, and okay. Now, Miss Carrie, all right. What you think?
Well, I just want to say I love this video because I kept thinking about how Lo and I have been together for 20 years almost, and
Nice.
it took us a while to find that balance. You know, where I felt like I had a voice and things like that. And today, Lo will say to me, this is how I feel. You can do whatever you want. And I feel the same way. And I will say the same to him. Well, I look at this like this, but you obviously can do whatever you want. And we found that balance, and that's what keeps us going. And I really, really appreciate that. So, like I said, I don't know if the female or male came first or any of that, but I do know that it's about balance and in our lives, and really using the 42 principles in our lives, and it's changed us.
That's right.
Yeah. So, well, I love you guys. I'm going to get off because my sister's asking me for
Okay. All right.
stuff.
All right.
But I love you guys. I enjoyed this presentation a lot. Thank you.
Hey, and I tell you that's special. That's special. That's I mean that's amazing, man. You know what I mean? That balance that you know what I'm saying that y'all found. You know what I'm saying? And that's what it's about, man. That's exactly what it's about. Now,
right.
My thing is I agree. You have no way of proving that, right? But what we do know, right, is that the first 3 weeks of conception or so, you are everyone starts off as a female.
I'm gonna screenshot it.
Okay.
Oh, I can send to you. I'm gonna screenshot that and send to the fam group, right?
Yeah.
Mute your mic, E.
Can't do it. Just screenshot. My bad.
Oh, you good? You
Yeah,
good?
you good? You good? Yeah. So you know, so we know that from that point, everyone starts out as a female until that X chromosome kicks in. I do believe, right? And then everything unfolds. But other than that, everyone starts out as female. So with that, everyone starts in water. Everyone starts inside of some type of liquid, right? So you know,
And liquid is found where?
huh?
And where's that liquid found?
Where's that liquid found? Inside the woman.
Where's the
in the spine?
Inside that woman. So from
Gary said the uterus.
I'm ready to try wing.
Uterus. Okay, perfect. And so what I'm saying is through you know the science of life, it shows us the order and it shows us the process, right? That we are, you know what I'm saying, and you know, everything starts in the water. Everything, you know, we started in the water. You know, we started with the noon with the water. So everything starts with the water.
Right.
So, huh?
Right. Yeah. I agree.
So that's all I'm saying. I mean, so from that standpoint, we just looking at the order at that point. He might be right. You know what I mean? From what we can see. This is just from what we can see.
What you do know?
Huh?
No, I screenshot.
Okay.
All right, let me run it this way. You want y'all to understand, right? All right, let me tell you where I come from.
Yeah.
I came in it like everybody else. You know what I'm saying? Masculine, masculine. Then when I got into the knowledge, not the men and all them, I went feminine. You know me?
You were what?
I was feminine. I went feminine. God is a woman. The black woman is God. I got that from not the men.
Yeah.
I didn't get it from he didn't tell me no goddamn science about it. That nigga never saying that, and I like not the man. So the woman became God. He didn't tell me shit. You with me?
Right.
Mm-hmm. That's
Yeah.
right.
Right. Now we look at that. And so I hear the argument about the embryo, right?
Yeah. Yeah.
And then it come out a female. That's what we talking about then. We already know male and female already in that embryo. I don't care what the fuck is coming into. You know what I'm saying? It was created by a male and a female. Period. A female didn't create that embryo. A male didn't create that embryo.
Right.
A female and male created that. And then when it starts to develop, as they say, the first development out of it is what's called feminine. But it was feminine and male energy created. It ain't no feminine by itself. That makes sense? So I don't give a fuck what the development is. Right from the beginning, it was already balanced. I'm a man. You with me?
Right.
Mm-hmm.
Right.
But I'm half my mama and my goddamn nanny. Even 46 and 46. Or 23 and 23. I got 23 from my mama and 23 from my nanny. I just developed into a man. But I am half woman, half man. That's the balance. You know what I'm saying? That's what the balance is. I just came out as a man. But I know my knowledge. Let me know that I'm half man and half woman. Period. The woman in me is not negative, it's not weak, it's not nothing. I just came out as a man. But I got everything in creation in me. I got the masculine and the feminine in me. I'm complete. I am complete. So I went through that. I was me on that. The black woman is hard. The black woman was the only thing hers and all that now. As a man, and I didn't say, well, I ain't saying as a man, but that's out of balance for me to say that the woman is hard. I'm a fucking man. That's out of balance. If I was a woman and I was to say the man is hard, that's fucking out of balance. I'm a fucking woman. So the understanding when you get enlightened is like, no, it's no problem. It never was no one by itself.
So what would have to happen is whatever created that woman can't have a belly button then. Whatever created that woman was probably, or maybe it did have a belly button. Maybe it did. Maybe it did.
We as humans are not an original thing. It is not when we started as humans. We started from something else. So that animal shit no matter. We didn't start out as a Adam and Eve. That's some normal shit. That's normal. You know what I'm saying? The human beings didn't start 350 years ago as a human like that. Now we evolved. We was at the beginning. Whatever was at the beginning, and it wasn't human. I'm that. Fuck goddamn human.
Right. Whatever the fuck that is. Now, whatever that was, right?
Yeah.
Whatever that was that we came from.
It had all in it.
So did we come out of an egg, or did we How did this happen?
Right,
Hey, hold on. Did we come out of an egg, or was we hatched, or did we, or were we born?
an egg can be formed in the noon. Whenever they talk about an egg, and we
I'm
didn't
saying,
come over
I'm saying,
the egg.
I'm saying, whatever it was that we came from the very beginning. Did we come out of an egg? I wonder if we came. I wonder if we come out of an egg. I wonder if we
It's
started with an
older than the
egg.
egg. Yeah,
Huh?
the chicken is older than the egg.
I'm saying we started in the egg, some type of egg,
What?
and then eventually at some point as evolution came, we started getting the belly buttons and then you started coming through that way. I mean, I'm just
Well,
trying
hold
to
on. What you
like
say?
like
No.
What you
If
say?
you want to
What you say?
evolution, right?
Older than the egg.
huh?
Okay, then you said Gerald said something older than the egg.
The chicken or the snake or whatever you want to deal with is older than the egg.
Well, yeah,
That makes
well,
sense.
snakes lay eggs. Snakes lay
Right. That's why
eggs.
sometimes we get it mixed up with the chicken. One time they say the chicken and the egg. And if I say a snake
Oh,
is
hell
older than
no.
the egg,
Hell no.
amphibians and
Oh, hell no.
reptiles come from eggs before a goddamn chicken. Yeah. They are older than whatever we are. You know what I'm saying? The reptiles and all them was older than
Yeah.
I forget what we have mammals and
Exactly.
all that shit what we are. You know what I'm saying? We mammals.
Mammals.
So we have
Right.
we don't have
Right.
eggs no more. We more alive.
I'm
You know what I'm
saying
saying?
at some but was it a point that we did come out of egg until right? Because listen, at some
Well,
point,
if you talk
we
about
had to
early,
develop a belly button.
go
At
ahead.
some point, we had to develop a belly button. At some point. So
Umbilical
what I'm
cord
saying
for the
is
umbilical
that,
cord.
Yeah,
That's
that's
right,
the
a
for the
mammal.
umbilical
mammal.
cord, exactly. Right. So
So
at some point we had to develop that.
That's a mammal.
right.
Right.
So listen, when
Right.
you
Yeah.
dealing with
I
the
got a
egg,
video that covers
when
all
you
that shit.
dealing with the egg don't have an umbilical cord.
Right. This is what I'm saying.
Anything coming out of egg don't have no umbilical cord.
Right. So what
No,
if everything
that's
started with it
older
as
than
an
that.
egg, right? And then eventually as it evolved, you know, shit start happening where point you have to
Okay.
give birth
All right. Well, let's
through
start
the
this.
birth
Let's do it.
canal
Let's start.
and umbilical cord through evolution. Now we talking about through evolution. So we evolved
Man.
and evolved,
Yeah.
So that's the last thing on the
and now we
planet.
ain't come out no egg, huh? Maybe we came out of egg first. Then after the egg, maybe
No, we humans, mammals. We the last one on the planet. Now we the most advanced, but we the last one. That makes sense.
Yeah.
Everything else is older than us, way older than us. We last.
Everything.
Yeah,
I
Yeah.
understand that. But what
we
I'm
just
saying is,
run around.
I'm talking
Now
about,
listen what I'm
I'm talking
saying.
about before
As a
Lucy.
mammal,
I'm talking about
listen,
before
a
Lucy.
mammal is the only one got an umbilical cord.
Right.
We last. Anything anything that's in the egg don't have no umbilical cord. That's older than us.
Hey,
Yeah, that means it's automatically older than us if it come out of an egg. Yeah, we got the umbilical cord that connect us to what we come from. Now, anything older than us laying that goddamn egg and went on about his business. It didn't wait around until the thing was born. They laid that motherfucker in. They never saw that motherfucker again. You gotta be born with your mammal. You gotta be born with him. It's a live mate.
What I'm saying is, what if we started out? Because listen, what I'm saying is, right. So when life began, bam, whatever sprung up, right?
No,
whatever it was that came alive and that was moving upon the earth and that was moving and right, whatever it was that came up, that whatever, and this is what I'm talking about. I'm talking about what what our common ancestor is. So this what I'm talking about is our common ancestor. Whatever it was that rose up first. We don't know what it was. We know it wasn't human. All right. We know it wasn't human, but whatever it was, when it rose up, it couldn't have had no belly button, right? It didn't have a belly button because you said that we the last ones to rise up. So we know that whatever it was didn't have a belly button. So as evolution happened, how was it, whatever this was, how was it when it produced, how was it given birth, right? Did it have to lay an egg? Was it already a mammal that went to a point where it had the belly button at this point? Now you know what I'm saying?
I can help you answer that question.
Okay, yeah.
I can help you answer that question, brother. All right, I'm just going by what the science is saying.
Okay.
That's it. Now, there's a video that shows a great illustration of what it talks about is the early forms. Start out going to go back worms. Well, like I said, go back to cells. After that cell division happened, the cells began to, because the cells themselves needed moisture. The cells themselves won't do nothing without moisture. Needed moisture from the beginning. Needed moisture. So after the cells stop, after they start moving around the cells in small, shallow bodies of water, you start having single cell organisms. Then we got multiple cell, like little worms. Remember back in maybe science class, they had us looking under the microscope, looking at placenta, aquarium, whatever different amoeba and shit like that. Different cells. Yeah.
Yes, sir.
Okay,
That's
so
right.
you keep going. Those simple worms, they just separated and reproduced. They didn't even have organs yet. Now, if you keep going, now we talking about some billions of years back now, but you keep going, those same small ponds begin to produce, out them waters, begin to produce creatures that actually had a species, had a cell, had a species, not a female. But here's the thing, there's a video, if I can find it real quick, and I can fast forward right to the spot where it shows that, and it can kind of show it to you, not right now, whenever y'all want to do it, but it's a cool illustration as to how it shows. But it went from being in water. We started in water, period. You ain't never not needed water. It was just the way you needed water. You was first just in the water as cells. And then from cells, single cell organisms, micro-celled organisms. And from that, you began to be swimming things that actually, some life was swimming, some able to settle itself at the bottom and just sit there. It's still life, but it was stationary. Other life forms began to move freely in the water, but they was blind, just moving freely in the water, and you had feelers to try to grab food, find food. Now, as time went on, you began to get some damn eyes. And first, you was basing it on light. You was determining light from darkness and lightness. You was being to have little cells on the sides of your body that was able to receive light. That was the simple eye. As time went on, you began to evolve and have a more sophisticated eye, where actually that you got to focus on things and use your eye to catch your prey. So every piece of evolution evolved, and you trying to get you something to eat and get some, and later on you get some and reproduce. So after you begin to get more advanced and you couldn't reproduce from yourself anymore, you needed a mate. And you begin to mate. The worms begin to mate, and anything else that begin to mate. The aquatic life, those fish begin to mate, reproduce. And like you say, there were no umbilical cords. Some species gave birth to live young. Some species laid eggs, and those eggs were in fluid within the ponds, and they just hatched out of the fluid, which is also nutrition, hatched right into the water, which they would have the knowledge to find food for themselves in these little shallow ponds. As some parts of the water got deeper, then you start getting larger prey. So once you start getting larger prey coming to these shallow ponds, now the younger prey, the smaller prey, have to figure this shit out. Now they got to figure out how the fuck to stay alive, stay with this motherfucker, and still be in a safe place to reproduce, have kids. So now the work is on. Now you got something happening in between them damn eyes that's going on that needs to develop. That was that thinking thing. That was
that fucking brain. That brain had to develop a way to stay alive, see what you're doing, find shelter to reproduce, and all this shit. So now you got to organize your area, your space, where you at. What location is important. So now you're moving through. You're still an aquatic species. You didn't leave the water until at some point, travel looking for food because as numbers grew, ponds through probably just geography and other shit, climate, ponds deceased, ponds get deeper. So now bringing bigger fish in, the smaller things had to find ways to do what? Find food to stay alive. At
Right.
some point, he got up out that water. He walked up out the water looking like a damn, him like a lizard. He come up out that water with look, before he came out the water, his nostrils and shit began to change form so he could start breathing a different way. Shallow water. Yeah. But anyway, the point is that's just serious. That's just this what they talk about in the science class. So anyway, from there, you kept on evolving. Now you got a male species, you got a female species. Once until you came out that water, finding food, but you couldn't fuck with the weather. You had to evolve some more to get some shit on your body to protect you from that sun. But that's when you went from having laying eggs in the water to having live. I mean, not having young on the earth, but you were eggs. That's when you were coming out the water laying eggs. So that was kind of similar to what you were doing as a fish. You had those little eggs in your body, but you laid them. They attached themselves to some parts of rock, other just start floating and shit. But back to where you are now. You own land. Once you are on land, now the world is different now. Now you need eyes. You can focus. Your sight get better, but your hearing get better. Your smelling gonna get better because now you're looking for stuff. But a big shit happened with these early species. These are the ones that they're finding fossils of. These early species. Some hit the earth and sent a lot of these species into non-existence. But that smaller species were able to go underground and hide. Small, little insect-sized species. But once that earth cleared up and that air got right, he came up out of the ground with a developed mind, but he's what you would call a tardy nature, something like that. Small rodent style action. Tardican something he's called. But anyway, he's like rodent. It's like deal. But he now coming into a world that was totally not, he wasn't just by himself. He had other creatures that had evolved that same, because at the same time they found these big ass balls of like what we would call prehistoric creatures. So he had competition with these bigger animals trying to eat his little ass. But what it allowed him to do was develop his mind even more. Mind over matter. So he began to say, no, I'm going to stay away from these big motherfuckers. I'm going to learn when he out here hunting, I ain't nowhere around. I'm going to wait till his ass sleep. Then I'm going to go get my food. That's he got nocturnal animals that get out only at nighttime. You don't see their ass during the day.
Right.
But at some point, he kept evolving. He kept evolving to where he started finding it safer to move looking for food, and it's safer to be up in a tree like a little squirrel. Then shit, once he figured that shit out and found up in them trees, then what was going on the ground, some of them ground animals, he ain't had no problem with. All them little small animals that was bigger than him, from raccoon looking animals to little dogs and shit. Anything that was bigger than him. Once he got that tip to climb, oh yeah, he was the one that said, okay, I'm gonna keep going out the way. So once he got up in them trees, some evolution still jumping off. The animal, once he started climbing to the tree, never left the tree until he came out that motherfucker a different species. Dig that.
Wow, no shit.
Other evolution was jumping off at the same time. It wasn't just straight, linear, just straight there like that. But no, once the species left the ground and started finding home, shelter, and food in trees, and they didn't have wings, a lot of those species evolved into monkeys, some evolved into other little flying squirrels. You know what I mean? That kind of thing. You know what I'm saying? If that makes sense?
Right. That's right.
He kept going. But at some point, the one that evolved to what they would call the early primate, his deal was his tail. He had to have a tail for balance, but then down his his hands, his fingers and shit began to be really important to move around in them trees. So when you really look at an ape now, or really a chimpanzee, what he actually doing, he walking. We say climbing. That motherfucker ain't climbing. That motherfucker walking through the trees, man.
Right,
If you really
right,
look at him,
right,
he uses his feet and his hands. He walking, dude. He
right.
didn't get so good at this shit. He walked through the motherfuckers. He walk, jump, climb, grab, and like a badass. But some evolution, some shit happened again. Climate happened again. Africa began to change. A lot of them trees began to open up. Forests began to open up. Space began to open up, and them trees began to get sparse and far and few in between. So, according to what the science shows, that early species of life had to come out the tree and find food. He would go back up in there for shelter. But the only thing that he was dealing with now was what they found is a large, like a big birds that'll take their young. And that's one of them skulls that they found. They found that skull looked like he had been taken by a large bird because the skull like it has claw marks. But anyway, um, when he got out to the trees looking for food and shelter, he was already a mammal. He became a mammal back when that rodent started was on the ground. They began to have live young in their stomachs. You dig? After he came out of laying eggs. But once that mammal jumped off, he was on and popping because he now was able to find tools and realize that wait, not just tools is enough. I need to at some point be able to communicate. So they say that vocal cords began to grow because when they look at some of the older skulls, they didn't have a certain something in that skull that determines they were able to speak or have language to like we speak it. You dig? But very interesting. But I think right at about this way before Lucy. But right at about that, I think what's in
So they
goodness,
was they
it was
was they
billions
they
of
wasn't
years
they wasn't
that you
audible.
get your first mammal straight up. Your first mammal.
So you said that they wasn't audible.
They wasn't audible. I'm saying, but we got to go back to billions to get your first mammal, that little small creature. No, no, hell no, not. But they might have been able to use tools and a whole lot of shit and fucking their ass off. But, but they probably wasn't audible like we see. Because when you do the anatomy on a goddamn gorilla and a chimpanzee, he makes some sound, but he don't got no developed goddamn vocal cords or none of that shit. They don't even look the same. So they talk about a 7 million year split when the 7 million year split, they say is when the primate kept going in one direction, and that species that we now know as Homo sapien went in a different direction. Now that don't say so. If you loosely say we came from a species much older than the ape. If we talk about where we
For
came
sure.
from, if we
For
look
sure.
at how evolution occurred, you know what I'm saying? But we don't get caught up with that monkey shit, all that shit now, because the brain was very intricate and very important at developing the body. If that makes sense.
Yeah.
The brain of the species that was living had to find a way to survive. So some species went to the air. Some species was able to start flying, and after that, it was on. Hell, they don't got no prey other than another species that fly. A goddamn bird pretty much ain't got no predators unless he land. And if he landed on some rocks, hell, he ain't got no predators pretty much. So it was about that. But man, there's a video. If you're interested, I can shoot it to everybody. There's another one that talks about the evolution of the eye. Bad as hell. Bad. Interesting as fuck.
Hey, send it to me, E.
So anyway, that was just my idea how that shit happened.
Hey,
oh hell yeah!
Send
sure.
it to me, man. Hey, but I'm gonna tell you right now, all three of y'all is wrong.
Hold on, my phone started
I'm
tripping.
gonna tell you right now, all three of y'all are wrong. I'm gonna tell you right now, our Lord Jesus Christ created the heavens.
You silly with it. You going to hell.
Created the sun, moon, and stars, and you ain't gonna tell me that he didn't create Adam and Eve, which created you.
Uh-oh.
Okay?
Oh,
so do not
Here you go. Here you go. Here you go.
Yeah, all three of y'all. So now what y'all need to do is repent.
Repent.
Right?
And open that good book and get
Cause
you some murder.
ain't no single cell organisms and all that. No. God created Adam, and then out of Adam came Eve.
Hey, we about to mute your ass.
What man came from man, Adam. All men and women came from Adam.
Wow.
Adam.
Wow.
A man.
You see what?
Nah, I'm taking on all debates on that one.
Give me the mute button, please.
I'll take on all three of y'all at the same time on that one.
Oh my God, we gonna stay in Genesis on your ass and be debunked that.
I think
real quick.
Everything y'all is messed up.
The egg thing?
Yeah. Only because we knew it for ourselves now.
Say it again.
We knew it for ourselves.
Okay.
Think of an egg, right? And think of an egg in water. Right?
Yeah.
Egg and water.
Yeah.
No, he said.
Think of an egg in water, right? An egg in water don't have no shell on it.
No, the embryo is inside the shell.
Yeah, but again, when we think of an egg, we think of this shit with a shell on it. You understand? And we come out with the egg.
Yeah.
Eggs don't all have shells on them. It ain't got nothing to do with breaking out of
That's
nothing.
true.
The egg is simply
No.
the feminine thing that gives birth.
The house. That's right. There you go.
Like we think of it, it already has been fertilized when the egg is opening. You know what I'm saying? It already got the male and female already in it. So then think
already there.
There you go.
Yeah, think of an egg, but think of fish eggs. Like caviar. They don't have no shell on it, but it's an egg. You know what I'm saying? So the egg ain't necessarily got a head. It's the female,
reproductive
I don't say, I guess you can say reproductive, you know? It is what reproduces. You know what I'm saying? That's what it is.
Yeah.
It's not like,
that's right.
when we think of it inside that shaking, then we forgetting, we mixing them up by putting that shell on the egg. We just need to look at it without the shell. So, we got the fish egg, right? That's when we started out in the water. Then when you get this amphibian shit, that's them snakes and them turtles. They fight in the water and on land. That's some kind of involvement doesn't happen. You with me?
Right.
Yeah, so now the egg in the land on land, and it got some kind of shaking in it. It's coming up. The egg in the water, when the fishes have the egg, ain't got no shaking on it. Ain't nothing on it coming. I don't even know if it still got to be fertilized or not. You with me? I think they knew. That makes sense? But that egg with the shell on it is already fertilized. It's already done.
Oh, yeah.
They already done been fucking, and then they laid that egg. You with me? When your wife or women got eggs in them. She ain't had no baby yet, but she got the ovary. She got eggs.
Yeah, of course.
So it's something, then when we looking at an egg, unfertilized, then the egg in the shell just been fertilized, and we mixing that shit up. What's I'm hearing? The egg on it, and you know, all that shit. And we thinking of the egg in that shell. When we know the egg in the shell has already been fertilized. That ain't coming, that's coming last, goddammit. That's something that already done happened. And me and just going through the process before it happened. That's the same thing when our women, they stomach just get big. It's going through that process the same as the egg. And then the baby just come out. And amphibians, they gotta just crack the goddamn tail when they done develop. And they come out. But we don't ask that who hunting birds. We already know that that's land. That's the end product. You can't figure it out by asking on the end. You'll never figure it out by asking not the goddamn egg.
Well, see,
The egg
well,
gotta
here's
be
the thing.
land. So if you ask me if something comes before the egg, yeah, it came before the motherfucking egg. Hell yeah. I ain't even gotta think on that.
Oh, yeah, life.
The egg is land.
Yeah, no, ain't no discussion about that. Right.
Yeah.
Right. Life happened before
Now,
that.
in the
egg
ones
was
who
just
knew,
the egg is just
remember? Y'all
yeah.
remember
There you
we
go.
learned about
There
the
you
ones
go.
who knew? Who did they say was in the
There you
ones
go.
who knew?
Shit.
It was some
You.
frogs and some snakes. It's some frogs and some snakes in the water knew. Look it up. Number frogs and snakes.
Yeah. Okay.
Yeah, frogs and snakes. They said was already there in the water knew.
Yes. There you
Yeah.
go.
So
There
if
you
we
go.
develop our consciousness back to the water knew, we the water, the snake, the frog. Whenever that process going into, we
There
know
you
about
go.
the frog, or we learn about the frog to learn about my social. Out of one become two, out of two become four, out of four become eight, eight then become one again. That's that frog shit.
Hey, our people,
I
but listen, man, our people was amazing, King, because they seen that. They seen that. They seen that because at a point,
They saw that.
they saw that because at a certain point in conception, you look like a goddamn tadpole in the frog. You look like you something.
Thank you very much.
You look
There you
exactly
go.
like that,
There you
and
go.
so that's how people knew
Thank you.
what that was that come out of that water, and the
Thank you.
water of that woman.
Yes.
Out of,
It's
right?
the same
There you go.
development. When you look at our
There you go.
uterus, and it's going through all that, when y'all was saying earlier that we female, we are like a tadpole, or a worm, or a snake, or whatever the fuck it is in the water. We go through them things. That is in us. That's a part of our history.
That's right. That's a fact.
And again, you hear him saying, we
Yeah, actually, those are the facts.
70% water. We still live in water, goddammit.
And but they're
There
showing
you go.
but
That ain't changed.
it's
We
showing
still
you,
live in the water.
it's showing you our evolution. That
Right.
was showing and the woman and birth and her body during pregnancy shows us evolution, King, at first hand. From what you evolved
There you
from.
go. There
Hey,
you go.
listen. So what you
There you
came
go.
out of, like E said, you're coming out of water first. First and foremost, you're gonna be in
Yeah.
water, right?
Yes.
And you came
Period.
out as
Period.
you as a and acting. You looking like you look
Let me
like a
get my stuff
motherfucking
real
snake. You look like a snake, and then that's at a point you look like a frog, and then at a point, you know what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. Every piece of evolution still exists
You
on
go
this
through
planet.
stages like Joe said. Yeah.
There you go. Every
That's
piece
how
still
this
exists on this planet. Every step of evolution, you can still almost find an example of it on this planet. Everything. From the birds that used to be the pterodactyls and used to be your dinosaurs. Man, they got some birds that look just like.
I'm talking about, yeah. Yeah, they just ain't big anymore. But yeah, everything you have a living example of creation. That's why we understood why creation and observation of creation was so important. So you could put the shit together.
That's
Without
how
your
they knew.
observation of creation, you wasn't getting shit. You ain't getting shit. If you don't understand creation, you wouldn't get nothing else. So that's why it was only given to those who understood, who didn't mind being their ass outside, who didn't mind sleeping outside under the stars, who didn't mind to worry about what the fuck you heard out there in the woods. Nigga, we gonna be out here tonight because we got shit to study in the sky. Fuck all that. We ain't finna be on top of no building. We ain't got no building to get on top of. We gotta study that shit on the ground like these guys damn hyenas. Let's get it like we get it. Get your spirit, I got mine, goddamn it. It's school tonight. You had to get there. You had to get it. You had to get it. You had to study this shit amongst nature. So either you're gonna be in balance with nature or you're gonna be against nature. You're gonna try to kill all the hyenas, or you're gonna learn the hyena patterns. And you're gonna be out there so long enough, you're gonna be detaining them motherfuckers and walk them. What you end up doing?
Right.
What you end up doing? You walk the motherfuckers now. How about that?
Right.
Huh? So now you use your mind over that matter. Shit. Motherfuckers walking, them motherfuckers with at least with muzzles on them, Joe, through the town.
That's right.
But see, they move around at night. See, they know them and lions move around at night. That was your time to study the sky. Now I'm not saying you didn't create no structures up above just so you ain't gotta deal with your shit and just for observation, like we got observation and that's right now. But the fact of the matter is, or even getting up in some trees and studying. But the fact of the matter is, you understood that you were with part of nature, so you had to come get it. Anything you wanted to learn was out there, so you got to get out there with it.
That's right.
That's what made you got there for real. You was a real one when you outside. Oh shit. Oh, and you got to get it, no matter what. Oh yeah, you a bad man.
Yeah, or die.
You a bad man.
You gonna either get it or die.
And we see examples of that when we watch our brothers in Tanzania right now. When they stay outside and they go get it every day.
Right, every day.
They go get it. Don't nothing stop them. Right. But they understand balance. They understand that sun, the importance of that sun, the importance of that moon. They understand everything around them. Every aspect of nature. You ain't gonna beat them in their hometown. Not with nature. Not knowing what's gonna happen with this weather. You're shit. Let you follow your meteorologists and let them do what they do and see what happens.
That's right. That's
no,
right.
No.
Hey, but that's facts though, and that's facts. That's pure facts. When we look at the woman body, man, the woman body tells us evolution. It tells us the whole how we had that from the beginning. All you have to look at.
From the placenta and everything. Look at the placenta.
It's gonna let you know. It's gonna let you know exactly
Tree of life,
how we got
here.
Spine. Right, and so I'm trying to tell y'all.
Yes, sir.
Yeah, so that's why we let her know. It's very important, family, that our queens are very, very, very important. Your daughter, she is very, very, very important. Your niece, she's very, very, very important. Grandbaby, she's very, 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 very important, man. You just, hey, the woman of the world, hey, man, trying to tell y'all, hey, I'm gonna tell you like this here, man. I think that she's a she should be next to you, not behind you. Be right next to you. Be right next to you. You should be before her, in front of her. She needs to be side by side with you for that balance.
Right.
That balance, family.
That's right.
Right. And so listen, man, there was never a pharaoh never a king without that queen. That woman, the woman decided.
That's right.
She decided it wasn't no man. The woman decided sister and her son. Anyway, man, yeah, man, that's tough, man. Good one, man. Baba Haru. Hey, man, rest easy, King. We're gonna miss you, man, but we're gonna always keep you here, man, because we're gonna always we're gonna always watch you, King. Always keep you out here,
Right.
man. We're gonna keep you relevant, and we're gonna keep your information going, King. Yes, sir. Right.
Right.
Rest easy, King. Uh, yeah, man.
Sure.
Yeah, family. Listen, man. Uh, join us, man, every Friday night, 7 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. We do open mic, talk about whatever you want to talk about, right? Political, religion, uh, science, however you want to look at it, man. We can go at it, man. We can talk about it. You know what I'm saying? We can get busy. Uh, and then we do something every Sunday. Every Sunday we doing presentations, some kind of lecture, some kind of some going on, some dealing with Black African history. And every first Sunday of every month, family, we doing children's book read. Um, and this is for children and grown-ups. It's gonna be information that you probably didn't know. Um, you know, hopefully you did know. Hopefully you do know, but maybe not. If you might want to check it out, see some of these kings and queens, some of our multi geniuses, some of our greats. You know what I'm saying? Um, and see where we come from, man. The main thing is know thyself, keep our history alive. Don't let them bury our history. Like, subscribe, share, give us a comment. Let us know what y'all think. Gerald, tell them tell them something, man.
Oh, that's all right now, family. Happy to be here. You know, they alert, they alive. You know what I'm saying? You motherfuckers out here mad. So make sure, they alert, they alive. And me and Black Power, Black Love.
Right, that's right. And E, peace to you, King. Hey, talk to him, King.
Black Collins, man, he's glad to be here and got the share, man. Share and learn, brother. That's it. That's it. I live for this. Sir. So yeah, so it was a pleasure. Sankofa. That's where you
Right.
come with it.
That's right, family. Like I said, like, subscribe, share, give us a comment, let us know what y'all think. We appreciate you. Thanks for joining. Like I said, check us out, man, on those days that I mentioned. Um, this platform is open to you, man. Come on in. All right, free. Don't cost you nothing, man. Come on in. All right, like, subscribe, share, give us a comment. Thanks, family. We out of here.